All right, so I think the thingamabob thing is ready to go, though, at least hopefully this time, though. So hello, everybody, MegaZardX here, back at it again to give you another ZardCast episode, that being my episode 43. Now, I'm going to keep it real, and I ain't going to keep it blunt with y'all. I'm going to keep it a $1.50 here on the show, because I always do. The common theme for tonight, I don't normally like to talk about negativity. It just kind of clashes with my style, though. But there is a common theme for tonight. We're going to be talking about the good, we're going to be talking about the bad, and we're going to be talking about the ugly, like the big ugly stink. Because I got a lot of stuff to say tonight, though. A lot of things from the pop culture segment stuff. I got like a few Marvel topics, stuff like that. Got some controversy stuff that's going on over here. Like a lot has happened within the last 24 hours, let alone the past 2 weeks since I did the last episode, though. But I do have my ZardCast crew with me tonight. I got my good pal Sanikyu. How's it going, man?
Platinum Games just tweeted out, and it's literally just them talking about this YouTube like video they have.
I told you guys. Bro, I told you guys. Like, what if something happened? Oh wait, never mind. It's not planned. I was thinking of Komiya. Was that his name?
You were thinking Konami.
Kamiya or Kamiya. Kamiya, yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry.
There's no way they're just ignoring it.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, that's kind of an allusion to when we get to that topic, but
like,
gosh, man,
I just can't believe it. I'm just looking on Twitter, just like, oh my God, they're not doing it.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there. That's Sonicy's intro.
When we get there.
All right, and then I got over here. Mario, how's it going, man?
What's up?
All righty, and then we actually got a guest tonight. You actually already heard him talking, though. A friend I know pretty well from another Discord server. How's it going, Yoshi?
Hi. I get to do a real introduction this time. I'm Yoshi. Most call me Yoshi. Some call me Jacko. Just don't call me late for dinner. So there you go. What's up?
All righty. And shoot, it's gonna be a really interesting, and I say interesting, show tonight, because some things are gonna be said. Some towns might be burned. Some fires might go up. You might see her celebrating over here, throwing a wahoo over here or whatnot, though, because it's literally the good, bad, and ugly tonight. I don't know how better to kind of say it other than that, though. So yeah, shoot. All right. There's a lot to go through. Let's go ahead and jump in it, though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that pop culture segment. All right. So first up on the docket with all the pop culture stuff, it's primarily only going to be about Marvel stuff. And literally, I'm going to start it off with the good. This is actually a good thing that we saw case, at least first, though. But we did get another look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer. The first one we got was a teaser trailer. This one over here seems to be like the real, big blowout. I don't think we're going to get any more trailers because literally this movie comes out almost literally like a month from now, about 4 weeks or so. That's how long we got left to go for this movie, though. But honestly, at least the way how they've been handling Black Panther, because, with the actual actor himself passing away and stuff, people were kind of questioning exactly how in the world they're going to handle, the character. What are you going to do? Retire the character, replace them, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you had some write-outs in like some previous Marvel movies, like going back all the way to the original Iron Man 1, how they didn't use, Iron Man's buddy Rhodey, the same dude. They brought in a different dude in Iron Man 2. This one feels a little bit different because, he passed away and whatnot, though. But I don't know about y'all, if like Mario, you've been seeing this in the trailers, though, but we saw somebody in the suit, and I'm honestly thinking it is going to be a female lead that takes the Black Panther mantle. Do you kind of catch that same vibe, Mario?
Yeah, because I know that. Because I don't know who it was that said that we're not even that close figuring out who's gonna be in a Black Panther suit, but I'm pretty sure it's Shuri. But unless they do some plot twist of some kind, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that.
It's the Black Panther's sister.
No, I don't think it. I don't. That's what I was thinking. It could be her sis. It could be his sister, and that honestly would make a lot of sense. But you never know. They could throw you a curveball, but it would kind of make sense, though. But then again, I guess she's always like in the techie kind of stuff and almost like a little miniature Iron Man, but it's completely different with the stuff that she deals with though. But they're kind of, they almost tick for tack on some of the stuff though. So I want to put it past them if they wind up going that way, which I think they are. But you had something, Sanikyu?
No, I don't really care about the movie.
Okay. But in
Yeah.
comparison to legit some of the other past stuff we gotten, I'm thinking this one's gonna be a solid movie from start to finish. Everybody's gonna like it. It's gonna get its accolades and all that mess, though. It will at least put a little sweeter taste in my mouth in comparison to some of the other stuff that we just recently got. And I'll get to that here in a bit, though. But honestly, I'm really stoked for the Black Panther movie. Comes out November, mid-November ish or whatnot,
But
though.
when will the Pink Panther movie come out? Come on,
Pink
can't
Panther.
forget us Pink Panther fans.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't know about this Pink. I think they actually did a
It's new.
movie.
Comes out.
I don't remember.
This movie comes out November 11th.
Yeah, November. Yeah, that comes out 3 days before my birthday. So yeah, I'll be seeing it that weekend. So that's some good. That's some good timing right there. That's some good timing. I can actually probably attend the movie for free because you know how it is with birthday money and stuff like that. People give you gift cards and cash. So yeah, I got my ticket paid. I got it paid. But anything else, Mario, you got to say on this?
No.
Alrighty. Well, that basically does it in terms of a little bit of Black Panther stuff. The trailer looks cool. It looks very sick. At this point, I don't need to watch anything else. I'm just waiting for it to actually come out, though. So that's it on that one Marvel stuff. But there was a little special presentation we also got from Marvel Studios, that being Werewolf by Night. Kind of to fit the Halloween atmosphere a little bit, they actually decided to go through and make it's only one episode. It's not like a series or whatnot, though, like other shows on Disney Plus. But they kind of did a little special, kind of highlighting this special was kind of like paying homage to all of the old school kind of movies. And made references to a lot of like they even made a reference
like Universal's like Universal's like Dracula,
yeah,
Frankenstein, and all that stuff.
Yeah, because like the whole movie was like pretty much black and white, except for like the very tail end. So it kind of added to like the spooky-ish atmosphere. I mean, we're talking about those like little scenes of like, like how like, like blood, you normally see that on a person. Like there was some moments where, things were going on screen and the blood splattered like as if like the screen that you were watching on, like if you were watching TV, like old classic stuff like that you don't normally see nowadays with media. So I mean, if you like a big classic movie fan or whatnot, though, there's a lot of stuff you can pull from this. So it kind of pays homage to a lot of different other things like that. So it was kind of neat and it was kind of fresh. Probably the freshest thing I have like consumed in quite some time though. But the plot, it was fairly simple. There wasn't like a crazy amount to it. I mean, you could probably watch it and kind of tell where the story was going for, but it is kind of interesting because at least from the Marvel side of things, basically everything we've been seeing in the universe right now has been primarily, humans. They're gonna introduce mutants here in a bit, or aliens like, like Thanos and whatnot, though, everybody that lives off-world or whatnot, though. They haven't really delved a lot into the monster-ish kind of side of things, but there is those kind of things in the universe because we know we got like Blade coming up and whatnot though, like we got vampires and stuff like that, vampire hunters and stuff like that though. So this is kind of like your early kind of tease to that kind of related stuff that also is existing in the MCU universe. I don't want to say too much because I feel like if I do, it kind of gives away some of the impact for the series though. But I don't you haven't sat down and watched this yet, have you, Mario?
Yeah, I did watch it. I find
Oh,
it
you did?
alright.
Oh, okay.
It's not my yeah, it's alright for me. I mean, I never seen any of of those old movies, so like it didn't kind of hit me if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
that's
pretty alright to me.
And that's what I kind of saw from most people. Like it resonated with some, but not resonate with everybody because there's some, old school stuff on there. But were you about to say something, Sonic?
No appreciation. I see.
Yeah, they try something too different again, like with Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't get to contribute too much to this early part because I don't really watch Marvel anymore. But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
if you want to watch
Spider-Man.
something kind of simple, just whatnot just for the spooky season. I still think it's good in its own right. I mean, there wasn't too many jump scares, but there was one that would be like, wait, what? But I mean, outside
I
of
kind
that,
of don't like that notion that scary movies nowadays have to have jump scares or whatever.
and it wasn't like a purposeful jump
Like
scare. Like
a
yeah,
recent like scary movie that came out was Hellraiser, which is actually fantastic.
What about Halloween?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
actually, I've
Yeah,
seen
what
Halloween, but it's
They
been
were
a
just
hot minute since I've
bad.
seen it.
What about Witches 2? Or whatever they're called.
You said Witches too?
What about Hocus Pocus?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus.
Like-
I haven't
like,
seen
I
the
heard
new
about,
one,
like,
but I've
one.
seen the original one. Yeah.
Nah, that one's scary.
Mm. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much
Scary
it in
too.
terms of the Werewolf by Night thing. And I hadn't been really watching a lot of scary stuff. I mean, I watched this. I think I watched my traditional what was it, Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. I don't think I've seen much more outside of that. I usually kind of binge most of my stuff in like the last couple of weeks. So that's coming up here soon though. But I don't know. If I do watch anything else that's kind of scary, I'll probably let y'all know though. But I think that's pretty much it for that segment though. So you had the good. I wouldn't say Werewolf by Night was bad, but it was just okay. But now, oh shoot, here we go. Here we go. We got to talk about an ugly, a stink, a dumpster fire. I don't know how many different ways I could say this. I probably could pull up a dictionary and look up ugly and give you every single type of what did they call that word? What it starts with an S?
Yeah, the thesaurus.
Yeah, the thesaurus. To basically give you every type of similar word that describes a fire, a dumpster fire, bad, ugly, whatever you want to call it. And yes, I am unfortunately talking about She-Hulk. Because let me provide some context. Because if you've been watching some of my past episodes, I have one where it was like I was pretty optimistic when it first started. The first episode was not bad in its own right. That set it up pretty well. But then I did like a midway review, and I was like, I don't like the way how this is going. And now you're going to hear the full thoughts from me here tonight, along with Mario stuff because Mario's been watching it too, though. But I really wish I would have gone through and saw some of the descriptions over what the whole series is about. Because sometimes I see a little bit from the trailers and I just back out. I got not quite a media blackout, but I just kind of take a step back. I don't try to do diggings with the actors and stuff. I know Mario, you follow what is it, the MCU Direct, and they kind of give you little things here and there with actor roles and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been mostly focusing on which actor is rumored to play which part of the character and all that juicy stuff.
Yeah. So that's the stuff I usually don't try to pay too much attention to because sometimes that can give away plot points and whatnot, though. But if I would have known that they said, hey, this is going to be a comedy series, which I saw it early in the few episodes, like, oh, this is where it's going. But I wish I would have known about that before I even watched episode 1. And that probably would have set all my expectations in check. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Sanikyu or Mario, I don't think we had an MCU series or show, the Disney Plus shows, that's been centered solely around comedy. It's nearly 100% of it solely around comedy. You have Guardians of the Galaxy that has comedic effect or comedic inputs in the actual show itself, but it's not the backbone of the show. And I think that's what really ate up She-Hulk.
What? No, that's literally the Marvel formula. What are you talking about, Zard?
No, I mean, like, they do good with putting jokes up in there, but the whole show, like, if you literally look up the description of She-Hulk, it literally says a comedy. Like, that's the backbone of it, and I can really see it. I mean, granted, you can also look at stuff like WandaVision, a little bit of that was comedy, but when you got to the second half of that series, most of the comedic effects were out. Like, we're getting down to some heavy plot points. But this one, it was comedic 100% through. There were some moments in there, like Mario, whenever they got to the point where, oh, they're taking She-Hulk's blood, or oh, this person slept with her, did some other kind of thing, like some plot points, or she got attacked by a group of thugs. You were thinking it was going to go somewhere, but it never actually did. And that right there upset me quite a bit. But before I give some more thoughts, Mario, I kind of want to pick your brain. What were you thinking?
Well, there were like some moments that they were all right because like they're trying to do. I mean, knowing Marvel, they want to do something different, just like with Monomission. So I feel like that's what they're trying to do, trying to like how it's gonna be obvious. Let me try to think here. So they want to try something different with the series because like how people were expecting a big reveal, like some villain. There's like some villain that might get revealed usually at the end of the series. Like let's just say the Red Hulk or the um. There's this one character, but I don't remember the name of it. That might get revealed in the post-credit scene or something. But no, they just want to do something different. They don't want to go through all that. They want to get She-Hulk break the fourth wall to fix their own series, just to just to screw off with the fans, expecting something big that might happen in MCU.
Well, I think you kind of beat me to it though, because the thing that bothers me the most about this series is the fact that they kind of knew that it was trash to begin with. Well, trash to begin with after episode 2. Episode 1 might have been okay, but essentially trash to begin with. And it's one thing to make a show and be like, hey, you know what? We think it's good. Y'all just don't appreciate this or something like that. Or you'll appreciate it a little later once we show you everything else we do. It's one thing to have that mindset. And literally, by the time you get to the season finale, and if you hadn't seen the season finale yet, skip ahead when you don't see this on the screen or whatnot, though, or skip a little forward, though. But when you get to that season finale, though, and they literally admit it, because what was it, Mario? They literally had the final thing, the dude that committed the wrong of, literally dropping her sex tape. Like what the freak is this? Literally dropped that, took a little super serum soldier-ish kind of thing, turned into a Hulk. Then you had Titanium pop up in there. You had the Incredible Hulk, which the Incredible Hulk was over there in space at one point. So I was like, what the freak did he just show up for? Literally, I was sitting down in my media room. I was literally about to hit the pause button on the thing. And that's when the whole screen went blank and they popped up the Disney Plus thing up on the show. I was like, Marvel, y'all hit the pause button for me because I was like, what the freak was this? I literally was standing up. I was like, did y'all seriously just do this mess? And I was like, and having her bust in there within the Marvel Studios itself, kind of questioning all the staff and stuff that were actually working on the series and whatnot, though. I was like, y'all admitting that this was trash. And you know what was an extra slap in the face? Was literally when she walked in, it was like the Marvel Studios, and they showed like a whole bunch of movies on the screen. They show you all the good ones. They show you Iron Man. They show you Captain America. They show you the first Avengers and whatnot, though, and a few other good ones. Just plaster all on the big screen. Like, we know that this stuff was really good. But what we did right here in this show was absolute trash and garbage. And I was like, what the actual freak? And I was like, that right there was a slap in the face to me. I was like, y'all are admitting this to my face as I'm sitting down here trying to comprehend all this mess that y'all just did. I was like, what the actual hey? Yes, I do understand the points of what you were trying to do with She-Hulk, which no knock off to this though, but like the sense of thinking that you losing your life or you're having, problems with just dealing with a social life in general, every human being goes through that. I don't blame her for what she was going through, but I was thinking somehow she was going to incorporate some of the stuff that she knew from the law side or the law side of things, incorporate with that and put that into her superhero life. But they never made that hurdle. It was just only purely about her, and the way how they kind of portrayed it just kind of seemed and the way how they did the finale, it just I don't know another way how to say sour Sanikyu. Like literally, like you can eat a sour piece of candy, and that mess will taste better than what I just watched right here. So I'm just
I have
trying
a question about the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Shoot.
saw this screenshot of She-Hulk patronizing Bruce, saying that you don't know what I've been through. I can control my anger better than you. Is that true?
Yes, I can't remember if it was what was it, Mario? Maybe around episode 3 or
Wow.
4. I don't
Imagine
know if it
saying
was
that
like
to
over
the
the
It's the
phone
first.
or it was.
I think
Imagine
it's the
saying
first
that to the
episode.
Hulk of all characters.
Well, let me say I haven't seen nothing on this show. Okay, so maybe it's not my place to talk about it. But I saw like there was like this thing where she was talking about how her life is worse because she gets like catcalled and stuff like that. Meanwhile, like
Yeah.
like Bruce Banner is literally like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, getting like controlled by the government, just like having all this power, but it's all fueled by his own rage, and he doesn't even want to live that life anymore. One of his opening lines in Avengers is talking about how, he tried to end it, and then the Hulk would not, and like sped out the bullet, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really tough to be a She-Hulk 2022, I gotta say.
Gosh dang.
Well, she doesn't lose her temper until like the.
Well, that's the thing. Didn't she like lose her temper after the fact? Like, so you just literally proved like Hulk's point that you can't control your temper.
Yeah. It was. I think it happened like in. It was the second last episode, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's when she completely went off the rails. There was moments where she would like flare up, but she never completely lost it, like how she did in episode 2. It didn't happen again until like the last episode again. So yeah, it was like 2 major points, the beginning and end.
I think because with the TV show, you have like time to like make changes, like last minute changes. So like, oh, this didn't sit well with with the people. So let's just tone it down a lot.
Yeah, basically that in a nutshell, though. So I was like, okay, y'all smashed the fourth wall. Wait, what were you saying, Mario?
You see, they're saving all the legal stuff for Daredevil because they know that everyone loves to see him tackle
don't get me started on Daredevil. Okay, hold on, we gotta go on a quick little tangent over. It's still in the same topic. We gotta talk about this mess though. Daredevil is a really cool character. I remember watching, what was it, the first season and the second season on Netflix, out of all things, though, and his character's cool. I like him as a superhero. He is really cool, but I hate it how they're trying to tie him back into the MCU because eventually he's going to have his own thing. Because I think he's supposed to have his own movie. I think later on, like within deep in Phase 4 or 5. Yeah, his own series. And I get it. You introduced him a little bit within the recent Spider-Man movie. That was cool. That was all right. And then you bring her into She-Hulk. I was like, okay, do a little bit more with him. And he had his moments. He did some cool stuff right there, though. But literally, when they just kind of made it, I don't want to sound like this though, but literally, like they treated this dude like he was like a sex toy for She-Hulk. Like I don't know how better to say this though.
Like, I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I hate being like this.
I don't know. Other than that, they just kind of threw him in there because she been with every single dude. She literally was over here dating some people over there. Was super unconfident about herself. Literally throwing her out there. Literally made a whole profile about the She-Hulk, whatever. Slept with like 1 or 2 different dudes. Then included Daredevil at the very end. I was like, why in the world are you gonna rep this dude? This dude fights freaking everybody over there in New York. We're talking about Kingpin and all this stuff. He fights legit stuff. And then he's going to consent with her, who's kind of off the rails. That just doesn't sit well.
I have 2 things. One, I mean, wouldn't you with She-Hulk? And then 2, I can't wait for her the next season. What is it that Dan said? She-Hulk smashes the universe?
That's what he wanted to be called. Yeah.
Oh, heck no. No, I was about to say, after this series, no, they're going to go back to the chalkboard. And they're just going to have to associate this character in other shows. I don't think this is my opinion. We don't need another She-Hulk thing. You have one job, Marvel. You have one stinking job to actually do a good Hulk-related thing. Because we can't do nothing with the Incredible Hulk thanks to stupid over there, Universal over there, hogging the rights for whatever, though. And it's too late now. His character has moved on now. I'm like,
what are you talking about?
Unless it's just a one-off, but they ain't going to do that.
They already ruined the Hulk after like a long ass time ago. Then like, I don't know, like I don't get Marvel. Like they had like all this time to do like whatever with the Hulk, and they chose not to. And the time that they did have him for, they just ruined his character. Then basically killed off the Hulk like off screen. They don't even show you them becoming one person. And then to top it off, oh yeah, here's my son that I didn't know I had, but here he is.
Now, 5-year-old teenage son that the government came back from.
My 5-year-old teenage son.
Yep.
Now I think
works different as a car.
Well, yeah, but like in terms of like the movies or whatever.
Because I
Yeah.
think between me and you, Sanikyu, I think we had different opinions on the Hulk. Like, I get what you said, which a lot of there's some things like what the off-screen thing about the Hulk and Bruce Banner becoming one. I would have loved to see that on the screen. So there's little things like that I agree
It
with
would
you
have
with.
made his sacrifice more like more like not more but like better because like it would show them being two separate entities. But
Yeah,
no, like the Hulk is so much more than just like big green monster Lamau.
yeah. But
Yeah.
overall, I did like the Smart Hulk. I felt like everything we got from him just being two different identities to where they could at least coexist or whatnot, though, and just be one person. I thought it was okay to my own taste. I didn't have any beef with it though. But the one thing when we
Like
got to the very tail end of this season, when they turned around and said, "Hey, I'm back from space, and here's my 5-year-old son." I was like, okay, that was a pimp slap to all of the fourth wall breaking stuff you did over there. Now you're legit messing up with something that I thought was already done, already established. I thought he was going to play more so a mentor role moving from this point forward, not really the one on some like the forefront of being all the superhero thing. And now you kind of retcon and put this dude up together. It's one thing to introduce him and whatnot, though, and it's another thing just to say, "Oh,
yo,
here he is out of nowhere." And I know
his
they're trying to
son's
set up for like a
haircut is
Planet
so
Hulk,
god
but
awful.
I know they're trying to set up
Have you
for a
seen
Planet Hulk thing, but come on, y'all.
Have you seen his son's haircut? It looks so bad.
The
Well,
CG looks bad.
No, like the
well,
haircut, even like just look at his haircut. Like
I mean,
the entire like front half of it is just like bald, and then he has a hair at the end.
well, Stan Lee gave that haircut. Remember in Thor Ragnarok?
I don't care. He died. Remember?
But his character still lives on. That's what matters.
Nah.
Listen, can I just say one thing just to
Yeah,
sum up the
say
She-Hulk?
one thing. Say one thing just to calm
All
me
right.
down. Just say one thing.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Just go watch Better Call Saul. It's better in literally every
Watch
way.
Breaking Bad too. It's way better.
That too.
It's quite
It,
like perfect. It's what It is like peak TV.
Yep, that's what I'm telling you. That's why, honestly, this is a bit of a tangent. I'll make it quick, but Breaking Bad has ruined TV for me because it's just, and I don't mean to hype it up as much as I am, but it's just so good. Everything else is just so terrible by comparison, especially stuff like this, where this show the whole time has no idea what it's doing, and then pretty much what Zard's complaining about, it
It's
doesn't
trying
even
to.
like, it
It's doing
doesn't
the Marvel
build.
setup.
Yeah, but it's not even building up anything. It's pretending to. It's just like what have we gotten out of it? Like, I mean, I haven't watched Marvel in a bit, but like lore wise, or what we're continuing to the next thing. What has it built up? Oh, Daredevil's in it, but Spider-Man did that already, and Hulk has a son. Okay, cool. I guess we'll see if that actually plays off or not. And it's just lame. Like that's what I'm just saying. Better Call Saul is also about lawyers, and it's also funnier. I promise you that. And it's also just better. So yeah,
Even 8
just go watch
episodes.
that instead. It'll
Like it doesn't waste your time.
yeah, it doesn't waste your time. It doesn't wink at you going, "Hey, remember this thing? Remember that thing?"
HT.
Honestly,
Oh,
I'm still going on a tangent. I was watching a video that had all the references between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and I caught like maybe 20% of them because they were like so sneaky and just like,
Oh, and well, like
so
when the things like happen at the same time.
yeah, well, I know I'm kind of there's a part where Walter White blows up some guy's car just because he's being a BA, and that guy also appears later in Better Call Saul, but like you wouldn't even know unless like you're super paying attention. And it was like such a minor thing, and they didn't like draw on it or anything. It's not like, oh, I bet this guy's gonna have something fortunate happen to him in about 2008 or so. So yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. It doesn't wink at you. Doesn't make you play like a bingo sheet when you watch something, right? Like, oh, they said the thing with Spider-Man. Oh, bingo, I got one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so sick of TV. So yeah, just go watch Better Call Saul. It's the last good television show we're gonna get until the end of time, probably. So that's my
yeah.
tangent. That's my
You,
one last thing.
you know what? I think you summed it up well. If you just want to know the most important plot points without having to watch the thing, literally all you need to know is Hulk has a son. They do a Daredevil tease, and She-Hulk just exists. That's all you need to know. Move on to the next thing, though, because I knew I should have stopped this mess halfway and just read summaries all the way. When I saw that one episode, Mario, where they literally caught her twerking. I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't even know what I'm watching here when I'm
Yeah,
doing this
honestly
yeah, but
anymore.
like,
watch
the
I
the
was
funny
like,
thing is, like,
But-
I remember like seeing Mario fans like, what do you mean? She did it in the comics. It's like,
she was
No.
supposed to have like a
yeah,
funny-ish character in the comments, but let's be real, she
yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
legit
she's
she was
twerk
funny.
in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah, she's funny in the comics, but like, she's also so many other things. It's
yeah.
not. Whereas this Shield tries to be that.
She was more like
Fails.
a person in the comics, whereas this movie is or not movie, this whatever, this
Series.
TV show, it's being the typical political talking point for women and empowerment and blah 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 and all that stuff. So I won't get into it. I won't make it nasty in here, but I'm just saying.
Well, all I can say is there was like the Hulk, She-Hulk cheeks.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking of slapping cheeks, you got 69mega.com right there helping you out. So.
Bruh.
A bot in the
no,
chat.
no.
Hell yeah. What's up, bot? How you doing?
What's up, dude? I am tired of being alone. All right, help me out.
Oh, good.
There must be a subset of like Super Mega or something.
I have no idea, man. No, legit. Well, this is another tangent. This is another tangent. I'll go ahead and make this real quick, and we'll move on to the next segment. Though this one bot, I had to put up with this baloney. I think it's the first time it showed up in my stream for one of my podcast episodes. But I kid you not, I run like tech stuff for like my church, and this same bot showed up on that one and try explaining all of
Oh
that to the
my
people
God.
that shows up for us. I was going through here spamming, blocking all of this mess though. Oh shoot, I hate those
Zard,
bots,
I hate
man.
I hate trying to find you on YouTube.
Oh, good gracious.
And I go to the announcement page on my Discord. I put it in there.
So annoying. Hey, there's
Yeah,
the
Hey,
bot.
so there you go.
Tired of being alone? Well,
hell
we'll help
yeah.
you.
I don't know. I just have to keep my eye on all of that mess though. But anyway, though, so I think that basically does it in terms of all the pop culture stuff, Marvel stuff that we got, all of that kind of mess. All right, that was one ugly segment, so we got that out of the way, though. So hopefully we just got the good stuff and the mixed stuff up because I can't put up with another thing like this. I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with y'all. All right, so that's gonna do it for the pop culture segment,
She-Hulk
though.
twerk.
So now let's go ahead and jump over to that gaming news. All right, so next up on the docket, we do have the announcement of Persona 3 Portable as well as Persona 4 Golden that have actually came out, and now we got the release date for those. So it is January the 19th. So I'm kind of glad that these are finally coming over to other stuff. Atlas is finally not being a pain in the butt about it anymore, though. It's actually on modern consoles nowadays, though.
No.
So I'm like, okay, so that's good. At least for me personally, I'm only gonna pick up 4 Golden whenever that comes out on the Switch. I'm gonna get it on
What
Switch
about
when it comes.
3?
Yeah, 3's good. That's what I started with.
Now, but that's the thing that gets me though, and I'll talk about here in a minute though. But with 4 Golden, I said I was gonna go ahead and get that because I don't think they're gonna do anything extra with that. And 2, I think that's the same month that also Fire Emblem Engage comes. Like literally, this comes out on a Thursday. The very next day,
Engage
Fire
Super
Emblem
Waifus.
Engage comes out, and I was like, "Are you
Okay.
kidding me right now?" I was like, "What the actual heck?" So yes, I had to make some sacrifices. So I probably will come back to 3 Portable at a later date though. I'll just start off with Gold. Technically, I'm gonna start off with Fire Emblem Engage, then go into Gold, and some point later down the road do Portable though. But the other reason why is because I think I reported back on this on the last podcast episode. The reason why I'll probably want to get 3 Portable right now, because there is a rumor in the mill that, hey, we could get a Persona 3 remake. And I was like, well, if that happens, I for sure probably want to play that game. So I was like, hey, there's no rush to start playing that game. We're going to wind up playing the remake later on. So I'll start off with what I do need to play that most likely ain't going to get touched, with that being Golden. So I don't know by the time I get done with all of the different RPGs I got on my list, because it's gonna be like bang, bang, bang from November, December, January, and February. That's gonna probably take me all the way up into summer. So I don't know. But yeah, so I know I'm looking forward to this. Sanikyu, have you touched or looked at those 2 games? No, wait, you bought Persona 4 Golden on Steam. I remember that. I think that's where you got that.
Well, I also have the Vita. I played through all of them. They're all. I don't. Persona 3 Portable is good. I don't really see the issue with it.
Yeah.
I think for some people they don't like Portable as much because the fact that it's not like
It's
3
such
or
a dumb
Fez with the
reason.
open-ish. Because I think what Portable did was good was they added the female character, and I think you're actually able to control your party members. While I think with
Yeah.
Fez or the original 3, I don't think you were able to. But you got the anime cutscenes that were in those 2 versions that's cut from Portable, along with those open-ish, those exploration areas. You had that in like Fez and 3, but you don't have that in Portable. So I wish there was a definitive game that incorporates all that good stuff. Hence, I think a remake, if that be true, will make a lot of sense for them to touch that. But that's from what I heard from most people on the block, and that's what they got with the beef with 3.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, my first Persona game was Persona 3 Portable on my PSP Go that I had. I still have somewhere.
Go.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had a
PSP
PSP
Go?
Go. It was
Yeah.
ahead of its time. It really was. It really,
It's the
really,
one
really,
where
really
like
was.
it's basically like a small PSP that you can just like.
Yeah, it was like those phones where like you slide them and they have like the text thing, but instead of that, it had the controls on it, and it couldn't use the UMDs or whatever they were called, like the little CDs that came with PSP. So you had to go and download everything, which I was kind of already doing anyway, especially because it was really easy to hack. But I mean, outside of that, I was just downloading all the time anyway. So yeah, and because it just came out too early, right? Because that was a time where people really still buying physical stuff. You look now, I remember seeing some articles like PlayStation 5 owners, like more than 80% of them just download their games. Like they don't even go and get the disc anymore, which I don't blame them, because what are you gonna get a disc for when you got to sit there and just download the whole game anyway? It's like a waste of time.
That's
So
my
I'd rather just
dumbest pet
download it.
peeve with PlayStation games in general. Is the fact you
Yeah.
can't pop that disc in there and just have it read off the disc. I'm like, why
Nope.
the heck am I doing that? I was like, you're just as good as getting a digital copy anyway. But I
Yeah,
guess
it's just
the re-download time's probably faster with a disc than
it's
just doing it off
basically
the
just a
internet.
check mark to be like, oh yeah, you own this game. It's even worse on Xbox, so you could have a disc and have it in there, but if you're not connected to the internet and if you don't have that as your main console, you can't even play a disc game.
Wait,
So
what?
oh yeah, that's true. That's real.
Wasn't that the Xbox Series?
It's the
Was
latest
it
one,
the
yeah.
Xbox?
It happened to me earlier this year when the power went out. Or not the power, the internet went out, and I couldn't connect to the
Really?
internet. Oh yeah, it's true.
Gosh, dang.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, you can't even play a disc game that you own. It's just gotten so ridiculous with these companies, and they think they can do whatever they want. But
They just don't know how to compress.
it's just dumb.
They showed
But
them.
yeah, I'd say definitely. For my personal speaking, I haven't beat Persona 3 Portable. I got like pretty much right to the end. I won't say what it was, but there was this weird like plot twist, I guess, that kind of like cooked me off guard.
Did you
And
see the funny door?
no, but there was this plot twist that kind of took me off guard. I was like, "What the?" And I just kind of put a weird taste in my mouth. So I meant to pick it up later, but I never did because it was on the PSP Go, and that thing had a battery life of 12 minutes. By the
12
time
minutes.
I was playing this right before the Switch came out, because I remember, because I was trying to like beat it before the Switch came out, but I just didn't do it in time. But it's still really good. I definitely recommend it. Hopefully, I'm hoping they'll be $20 because Persona 4 Golden's $20 on Steam.
Think so.
So for
I think
$20,
that's where they have to.
it's a steal for $20. You get a lot out of it, and even though Persona 3 Portable, it is more of like a visual novel like kind of deal, it still has a majority of like the recorded like voice lines and stuff. And it had some anime cutscenes, because I remember they even added some new ones for when you play as the girl part of the story. So it's not like it doesn't have the thing at the end, like the like after story thing, but that's, I don't know. I haven't really experienced that, so I don't really know how much you're truly missing. All I really know is just some lore stuff, and I mean, I know it's my first time on this podcast, but if you know me personally, I just do not care about any of
The
that.
lore. Yeah.
And and like with Persona 4 Golden, I'd say that's another great one as well. I just beat that this summer. And when I say I beat that, I beat the main story, but I didn't do the extra part, because the extra part is all about a character I really do not like, so I didn't even touch it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even bother with it. I was just like, nah, I really don't like this character at all. So I didn't
No,
even
honestly,
I didn't beat the extra part, but the main part is worth it. But if you know the plot twist stuff, it kind of makes it a little less. But it's they're both still pretty good. I definitely recommend both. I'll probably pick them both up on I don't know. I mean, they'll both be on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure. So I might just do that, or I might just get them on Switch. I don't know,
But
or Steam because I do have
you
a Steam Deck.
you know how Game Pass is gonna work. They're gonna put that mess on there. It might be up there for like 6 months. They're gonna take that mess right back off. Oh, just
6 months is
watch.
plenty of time to beat those games.
It is,
yeah.
but but for those people that thinking, oh, you know what, I'm gonna pick up this Persona game. They pick it up on month 5. They don't get all the way. They might get very close to that last boss, and then Xbox like, nope, we're pulling the plug. Be like, I would be mad beyond
Well,
belief if they did that to me.
they do let you know when they're gonna get rid of it. Like they give you at least 2 weeks because what they do is at the beginning of every month they'll add new games and then games that go away also go away on the same day that they add games, and they have a section on Game Pass itself that says like games going away, play them before they're gone or whatever. Like I can check right now and there's probably like 6 or 5 games that are going to go away on November 1st. So that's plenty of time to like know, oh, I should keep playing this game, or oh, I guess it's too late for me. But also every game that's on Game Pass also has a little bit of a discount as well. So if you're really enjoying it before it leaves Game Pass, you can also get it that way. And also, I will also say, Lee, that since Sega owns Atlas, they have a pretty good relationship Game Pass wise. So I can see it being on there for a really, really long time because there's a lot of Sega games that have lasted on there. Like all the Yakuza games,
Yeah, I was gonna say
they're all on there. There was a short period where some of them were removed, but they put them back on. So I think they're
Okay.
mostly there to stay. So I'm especially because didn't they also announce the whole thing at like Microsoft's E3 or something
yeah, the new
about
Yakuza
Persona
game.
coming to like everything else,
Oh yeah,
or at least
it
Royal?
was it was Royal at that time, and then it was like roughly around that time when yeah because we got it with Xbox and they showcased it off in their showcase. It was like a day or so later, then PlayStation came out and said, "Oh yeah, we got it," and it wasn't until like the fall Nintendo Direct when Nintendo said, "Hey, we're getting it too." So yeah.
So Xbox announced it. So if they announce something like that with Game Pass, and it stays on there, because also another little thing about Game Pass, I just know too many things about it because that's like the best thing about Xbox. I've found out that I don't know if it'll work like this for Royal, but whenever a game gets added onto Game Pass, take this with a grain of salt because I might be wrong, but I've heard that they pay the like development costs of the game to have it on there. So like any little indie games that are on Game Pass, they like pretty much paid that guy like, oh, how much did this cost to make? Okay, there you go. We'll pay for it, but you got to have it on Game Pass. How about that? So I think that's pretty cool too. So if it's a big announcement like that, and I'm sure they paid a lot of money to have it on Game Pass, so I'm pretty sure it'll stay at least for a year or so. Well, that's definitely enough time to beat Persona 4 or 5 and all of them really.
I
So
still think I am of the opinion that Persona 4 is better than 5.
no, I like 5 more.
I'll let you know where I stand
5
because
doesn't
it's
have
weird.
Marie, so.
You know what? It might be really weird between
No, but
us.
it does have human Morgana, so
Well, I haven't gotten there in Royal.
You know what?
So.
It might be pretty weird between me, you, Sanikyu, and I think as well as Sylveon, because I know Sylveon really loves 3, and I know you really like 4, and I could be the one that really likes 5. So I was like, that might
oh
be a
my
little
god, you're
interesting
just
bag
like
right there.
Zard,
But
Yoshi.
Oh man, what the freak,
bro. But anyway, I think that's basically it. I'm surprised we were able to drag that out much longer than just it coming out on January 19th. But kudos to
Yeah,
all y'all.
well, I mean, you got people here who've played it, so yeah,
Yeah.
we're the worst. We're the worst Persona fans because we actually played the games.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, all the real ones you watch the YouTube. You know what, Mario? Never mind. You might be a Persona fan. Just
Yeah,
I
Mario's
never
the
even seen
biggest
any
Persona
clips of
fan.
Persona fan.
No, you can't
He-
talk to Mario. He bought the game and turned around and returned it before he
Really?
even played it.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a peepee head.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's basically going to do it in terms of the Persona segment news. So we'll go ahead and transition over to another one that be. Wait, what the heck? All right. So this is legit some breaking news that happened. I kid you not. I was going ahead and preparing this podcast thing this mid afternoon today. And then lo and behold, somebody over there on your side, Yoshi, threw up the thing
Yeah.
up in the chat. And I was
That
like,
was
what the freak?
me.
And it was like Silent Hill is apparently getting like its directish kind of showcase, whatever you want to call it. There's an event happening this upcoming Wednesday where they're
Fucking
going to
pissing
announce
me
different
off.
things for the Silent Hill series. I'll let you talk about
Fucking,
Sanikyu because I know you've been
fucking.
hyped about this mess for so long.
Everything Zard said is true. I was there.
I'm not to mention lately I've been streaming Silent Hill 2, so
I was there too.
yeah, we were both pissing our pants.
I'll just say I wasn't expecting him to crawl so fast there.
But
Good
no.
gracious.
Like they're definitely gonna show like a remake of Silent Hill 2.
You
that
think a
what you
remake,
think?
not a brand new game?
No, a
There
remake.
was that,
No, there's
that game
multiple
that got
games.
leaked a couple
There's
months
multiple
ago.
games that they said they're doing. I think they're doing a remake mainly because of like how the tweet opened up with "In your restless dreams, do you see that town?" which is straight a line from Silent Hill 2. Not to mention there was leaks of like this one Silent Hill game where it has to do with like SMS messages and whatnot, and how like you have these monsters that basically look like cherry blossom trees. I don't know, I'm excited. It better not be like an announcement of, "Oh look,
Skateboard.
guys, skateboard shirts, haha."
Oh yeah.
But no, I remember seeing one of your tweets and you were like, please don't be like that. And I think in another tweet below it, you saw the ESRB rating. You're like, oh gosh, please.
I'm
I
like,
was like,
please, please, oh please, please, oh please.
I'm trying to
Hopefully.
remember because, like what you said, Yoshi, with the rumor mill thing, I thought there was like a few different Silent Hill projects. So, like one being a remake, one could be
Yeah.
brand new, and something else.
Well, the thing is, Blue Point or whatever, I think there's their name. Like, you know, the one behind Demon Souls, right? Like, they're supposed to be the one that are working on like a Silent Hill game, which they're known for doing remakes.
Mm.
So it's
Wow.
like next one where like I'm thinking like, oh, they're gonna do a remake, and you know, out of all the Silent Hill games that you'd understand like, oh, they'd remake this one because a lot of people love it. That would be 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like if I'm going to call it now, it's going to be a mobile, a remake, and a brand new game, and that's it. You won't expect nothing else unless they talk about merchandise.
Yep.
I think that's pretty spot on with what they can do. If you're expecting more than what I just
I was
said, then
thinking
prepare
the
to be
exact same
disappointed.
thing. Like I was actually thinking the exact same thing, Zard.
Oh, okay, then we're good. Pretty sound judgment. And I'd say you're pretty
Yeah.
good if you got the diehard fan, and if you got just like someone casually looking in, thinking the same thing. I'm thinking that's what we're gonna walk away with. If it's something less than that, then I rest
I'm
rest
so
in peace your
pissed
soul,
off
Sonic.
with Konami. But it's like, oh my god, they were at like this the Tokyo Game Show, right? What do? They spent their entire presentation talking about one game, which is Suikoden. And don't get me wrong, that it's a good game, and whatnot. But just you're gonna talk about that for all that, and then the next time they had their next presentation, it was just a bunch of like random shit. But then Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Trying to think. I felt like I was gonna say something else about this thing too, but it just slipped my mind.
Me and Yoshi will be playing Silent
Oh
Hill
yeah,
later.
that's what I was about to say. I think you willed this into existence, Sonic Q, because the fact that you said, "All right, I'm going to go ahead and stream Silent Hill for the month of October," and then it's like it's like not
I
until you
hope I
did
rolled
that,
it
miss.
into. I hope I rolled it into existence, man.
Well, when it's terrible, I'm gonna shake my head at you then.
The thing is,
Bruh.
there's one thing. There's two things. One, they have to go all out with Silent Hill, or 2, they have to let it die. Because at this point, it's either do or die
It's
with
do or
Silent Hill.
die. It's do or
It's
die.
just, yeah.
Come on, like the 2 of the biggest like horror games back in the day, Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and like only one of them is like still
Relevant.
kicking it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So
I need.
I really want Silent Hill to come back. Like it's a series that deserves it.
I had
It's a
to
shame.
check this for myself. I think. Oh, shut up. I think it's pretty funny if you go to the Silent Hill website and go to the games. The only one that's not there is Homecoming.
No, we don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I think that's
I
funny. Also, I still can't believe
really?
the last game for Silent Hill really. Oh my god, it really was 10 years ago. It was in February 11, 2012, and it was Silent Hill Book of Memories, and it's probably
It's
the
literally just a
worst.
mobile
Like,
game.
Oh,
it's not even a mobile game. No, it's a Vita game that's like
Oh, it's
basically
a
a
Vita
dungeon
game?
crawler. Yeah.
What the fuck?
huh.
It was the most bizarre thing like ever. And then Silent Hill Downpour was before that, also released the same year, which Downpour I haven't played it myself because they haven't made it accessible since then.
A lot
But
of the Silent Hill games are hard to come by. Like they're not.
yeah.
The only one that is accessible is
And the
Homecoming.
HD collection. Oh yeah, and Homecoming, because that's
No,
on Steam. That's
Homecoming
the only game you get on Steam.
HD collection, but that's on PS3, so whatever.
Yeah.
What else? And Silent Hill 4, which is on like GOG.
Yeah. It's
Also,
it's something. I don't know. I haven't played as many Silent Hills. I kind of wish I have,
I
but
mean, you played one, but then you got
I
scared at the school.
yeah, I've tried to play one. I've beaten Silent Hill Origins, or Zero as I guess it's called sometimes. That one was okay, and I beat Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which I did like a lot. Although I get why
It's
people
alright.
don't like it as a
It's
Silent Hill
just
game.
I mean, you see me playing Silent Hill too, so I think
Yeah.
you'd get the reason. No, but if anyone's interested in playing Silent Hill 2, just literally just YouTube Silent Hill 2, how to play it, and you'll find a funny
Enhanced Edition, I think it was
you'll
called.
find a funny video saying Enhanced Edition. What's this? And then there'll be a funny link. That's all I'm gonna say.
It'll give you a good chuckle and make you feel good and give you a smile. So
There's
definitely
also one
look
for
into
Silent
it.
Hill 3, but you have to like work with like the buttons, like the controller layout.
Yeah, it's an older PC port, so not as intuitive as
Too.
stuff has been made as today. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't want to crone on about it, but just video game preservation. Just real sad to
It's
let
so
classics like
important,
that just like
and like everyone was so pissed off at Sony when they tried to shut down the Vita store and like the PS3 store.
yeah.
And the
And it's
PSP.
like, well, PSP, yeah, but that's
I
like
think that's the only one they
No,
shut
that's the
understandable.
only one
down.
that actually shut down.
But like
Yeah.
the thing is, the
Yeah.
PS Vita, like games are still being made on that system, believe it or
Yeah.
not. So it's like, and yet another like scenario, like Sony didn't even like tell these developers, hey, we're shutting down the store, so the game you're working on, sorry, but fuck you.
Yeah, same thing with Nintendo too. Like there was some people working on like 3DS stuff, and they just went, nah, bye. So
Mm.
it's just a sad state of affairs. I always hate to see it. I'll crone
That's
on about
why
it.
like
You
I'll
know?
always like tip my hat to like Microsoft. They actually care about preserving
Yeah,
their
no, they
own
really
games.
do. They really, really, really do. And it's funny because you really think they wouldn't care at all. But it was like when I got my
Yeah.
Series X, right? The last console I had, well, I did have an Xbox One, but I barely really used it. I only played Banjo-Kazooie on it. But it was nice to go from my Xbox 360, which I used a ton back in the day, to my Xbox Series X and be able to like re-download stuff that I bought years ago, like Castle Crashers. Boom, I could just download that again, and like the Sonic Arcade, whatever they called them,
Like Sonic
I can
Unleashed on the Xbox Series
yeah,
X.
like
Hold on,
Sonic
I need
Unleashed
someone.
and like
I need
Sonic
someone to
1,
give
2,
me
and 3.
a Series X just so I can play Sonic Unleashed because I'm curious how that mess runs with 60 frames per
It's
second.
60
It's
frames, yeah.
it's nice. I've played a little bit of it. Yeah, it's nice. But it's just my point is like I think it's just so cool like that they like your account you
They
buy it and
actually
then boom it just
care.
carries over. Nintendo almost did that with the Wii and Wii U, but it's like you had to buy it again for some goddamn reason to get
And
the quote unquote Wii U enhancements.
I guess like
Which
what
is
they're
dumb.
doing with like with their live service, like, but even then, the price is for me, the price isn't worth it, given the nature of like their online infrastructure being so garbage.
Yeah.
I don't like it. So
I don't know. It just frustrates me that you you buy something and then it could just be gone, just like
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of it carrying over, like the idea of having one universal account.
because that was like the cool
And
thing, like that Sony
Yeah.
did, like back in the day with like the PS1 to PS2, you could still play PS1 games on the PS2.
Yeah.
And
No, I don't
like,
know. It's just it's frustrating because these companies want you to play and care about these games, but not today's time. Nuh-uh. Nope.
well, like the
Like,
Sony's like CEO, like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't get why people
Oh
care
gosh, don't
about
even get
these
me
old
started on
games.
that dude. That Lion Jim Ryan,
Yeah.
yeah, like that been all over the place.
You don't get why we don't like playing old games. Sorry, it's just simple life.
Yeah. Oh, these old games you grew up with, became a lifelong fan with. Well, too bad. You're not getting them back ever.
Oh, is that you like to play Dragon Quest 8? Well, we're taking away from you. So,
Yeah. Nah,
I
it's
guess
thank
ridiculous.
you. So,
I guess to bring
thank you,
things
Nintendo, for
around,
giving us the 3DS version. So,
bro. I guess to bring things back
Mhm.
around. So the last thing I'll probably say what Silent Hill is. I
oh
did
wow, what a
see.
tangent.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
sorry.
Yeah.
I literally what was it? Maybe an hour or two before this show has happened,
Zard,
I saw
I love the
Wario
picture you chose.
64.
Yeah.
I saw. Oh, thank you. I saw Wario 64 tweeted out and said, "Hey, it looks like Masahiro ITO seems to be involved with Silent Hill announcement." It showed their account quote retweeting something, and then that tweet got deleted. So
Uh,
it'll be kind of interesting if Masahiro and his team is actually helping with something Silent Hill
Masahiro
related.
Suffer guy.
I was like, bruh. But that was the last thing I wanted to mention up in here because that's about like this has all been stuff that's happened like literally like within the past few hours and hadn't barely broke the street yet, and
That's not
I
the
had
only
to
thing that's
squeeze it
been
in.
happening in the last few hours.
Oh shoot, yeah, yeah,
Well, you're
that's
talking.
true as well. That's true as well. But we got to work our way up to that one because that that topic right there, holy shoot.
Silent
All right,
Hill is too scary for me.
bro. All right, well,
The place
that's pretty
Shattered
much.
Memories.
And
This man can barely hold a candle. I don't know. But that's pretty much it in terms of the Silent Hill related stuff, though. So we'll go ahead and switch it on over to the next topic, though, because I don't think I'm gonna talk about it super long because it wasn't like a whole lot of meaningful stuff, though. But we did, for some small reason, got back to back weeks with new Scarlet and Violet trailers and informations
I'm
and
gonna
stuff
go
like that.
blow my nose. So,
The first one, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and blow. Go ahead and blow. The
Yeah, go
first
ahead,
one
Mo.
was
Blow harder.
the I can't with y'all. The first one was literally a 13-minute
Blow.
trailer or something like that. It literally felt like you almost could have called that a Pokemon Direct, where they showed a lot of stuff in game and stuff like that. Though, I mean, there was they literally actually fully explained that yes, when you're going through and playing through
I'm
this
also
game,
gonna go
you either
take the piss. So,
bro.
well.
You're literally able to go through and either do the gym leader challenge, then you're also able to do the treasure hunt thing, or deal with the what's that new team called Mario's teams? Did they call them Team Stars or something? I can't remember.
Something lazy like that, yeah.
I
I
don't know.
know I wasn't really paying attention to the Pokemon. If I'm being honest, even though I
Hmm.
pre-ordered the game, but I just don't want to know too much stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it was basically that. They just kind of elaborated on that. They kind of showed the game actually working and running and whatnot, though. So it was pretty simple, straightforward, though. But I did figure out, I guess, in one of the later, or I think it was actually during that showcase, they say you can actually craft your own TMs, which I guess that kind of gives you another extra little thing while going out and exploring the world. If you got to get certain items to
That's
craft a TM
stupid.
machine, and I think once you have it crafted, you could teach. Like, for example, if you crafted flamethrower, then you can use that flamethrower team as many times as you want after the fact. I'm thinking that's the way how it's going to work, though. But it gives you a little bit more something to do with the expiration date. So I found that pretty cool.
Uh, no, that was just silly. They just basically downgraded from Sword and Shield because, like, ever since they introduced the permanent TM since
Gen 5.
like, yeah,
Gen 5,
Gen
yeah.
5, because I like it that way, but the fact that you have to collect some stuff just to build a goddamn team. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know why they complicated it so much. Like, what was wrong with just exploring or like using BP or just whatever to get a
Well,
TM and keep
they
it
got to
that
give you
way?
something to
Like,
do in this big open world. I mean, this is our first
yeah, they
Pokemon
could
open
add a real
world.
post game. They could do that.
Yeah. Well, they at least gave us three different options. You can do them in any order you want, but we'll see how that goes. Because the only my main concern about that is, let's say if you did the treasure hunting thing, then you did the evil team organization, and you say your gym leader challenges for last. If that mess doesn't scale, that mess is going to be absolutely broken, or it's going to feel like a waste
I
of your
think
time until you get
so.
to the very late gyms or whatever. Though that's my only main concern about the whole thing, though. But I don't know. We'll see when the game comes out though. But there's other good stuff I'm liking and I'm really seeing about it though. The second main thing what we got recently is, I know you saw images of this, Mario. The fact that they introduced the electric gym leader and her new Pokemon and whatnot though. And literally she's a
Mr. Frog.
YouTuber. And I was like, what the actual heck? No, and in this started hammering home, why on earth do we not have this? Literally, they showcase off the gym leader and they showcase off the Pokemon and stuff like that via an actual, YouTube via off of
YouTuber.
YouTube of her being like a YouTuber to us, the fans or whatnot though. And you see her talking, voice acting and stuff, having a Japanese voice acting and whatnot though. Really cool. Give some nods and kudos because it's an interesting way to kind of go ahead and advertise for your game. But then you transition for that and you go in game engine and literally the mouth moves and no voice comes out. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh shoot.
Mhm.
it
It was
was really
okay.
confusing.
It was confusing because it was okay doing that in the series from Gen 1 all the way up to Gen 6. You can argue a little bit about Gen 7 because there was a little bit of cutscenes, but not too much. But Gen 8 onwards, oh shoot, those moments are weird when they're just blabbing their mouth and nothing is coming out of it. You can't keep getting away with this. I know it's going to be a pain in the butt going through and localizing that for that many languages, though. But you see a lot of other companies nowadays literally be like, hey, if you want a voice acting, shoot, they can keep it simple English, Japanese, and you get subtitles for any other languages or whatnot. That's better than nothing. And I'm like, what the freak? Like, I said Nintendo. What the freak Pokemon Company? Because literally, yeah, it, it's getting too old for this. I'm getting too old for this. Like I shouldn't even be.
Yeah. No, I mean like yeah, it was weird to like because I thought it did have voice acting in it for a second because I mean I haven't really been following the news. I'm not gonna be getting this game, I'll be straight up honest. But they had another trailer too where they were like it was supposed to be like the girl rival or whatever, and she was like telling you about all this stuff, and then like it said on the bottom like voice acting not in the game or whatever. So I was almost like I thought they backpedaled and then added voice acting now, but nope, I guess not. It's just really a cheap way to like
Are they doing voice acting?
no, they're not
No, they're
doing
not.
voice
No,
acting.
because
No,
what Yoshi
they're
was
not.
referring to was like in the first trailer or whatnot. It was like one of the early trailers. It was
Yeah,
like
one
the
of the early
dude and
ones.
he was talking to his students, and that part was voice acting. But in the fine text at the very bottom, it says, what this footage that you're seeing right here is not indicative of what the final game is going to be. Hence, saying this voice acting ain't in the actual game. And then it
Yeah.
looked like they're
No, it
backpedaling
did
when they
say.
did
I
this.
swear, it specifically said the voice acting is not in the game.
Yeah.
Here, I'll
Or
try to
something on the
find it while
lines.
you go on.
Yeah, it was something on the lines of that. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. And then it kind of confused some people when you see promotional material like this, all that voice acting and stuff to introduce a new Pokemon, and then you go in game engine and it's just traditional Pokemon. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, this game can be really good, but that will always strike a nerve and strike a chord with me is the fact that we don't have voice acting in this game yet. Like, what the actual heck?
Yoshi, look at this.
If
I'm just gonna send it to you, okay?
I mean, like, I'll just say like a company like Bethesda with their games like Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim, if every single character in that game can be voiced, there's no reason to not at least give main characters a voice in Pokemon. And Skyrim and all those like did different voices too, right? Or even if you want to do like what you said, right? Where you have your English voices and your Japanese voices, like how Smash Brothers done. Like I don't see what's like wrong with that either. So it's just like I've said it a million times off this stream, but it's just laziness at this point. They just
Yeah.
they could easily do it. They could easily afford it. Not even looking into that angle. but it's just they just don't want to do it because it would just
unlike
be extra work.
It's kind of like another company that just refused to.
Yeah, it's almost like something else we'll be talking about here pretty soon.
Yeah,
And the
I was
crazy,
about to say.
Oh, here I found the thing. It said, this is on this trailer. It says trailer does not reflect actual gameplay experience. The on-screen text and voiceovers are not present in game.
I love how
See,
they
yep.
have to like include
Yeah.
that.
Because if they didn't,
Yeah.
there would have been a whole nother debacle thing with like Sword and Shield.
Like they know it's good for advertising, so like why don't they just do it in the game? I mean, like this whole trainer thing like is so distracting because it's just like I mean, like somebody like me, right, who hasn't really been paying attention. It's like, oh, okay, this game does have voice acting in it, right? And then you play the game and you're just gonna hear beep beep beep, you know, like when they're talking, and it's just gonna be like
It's
gonna be nothing.
It's
just
just hilarious when a DS game can like have like a gym leader sing, but you know.
Yeah, honestly, and then like I just don't get like, you know what? Yeah, on the handheld games that they don't want to do voice acting, sure, that's fine. But I mean, like on a console, we have all this power. Well, I know they don't use it very well, but they have all this processing power where they could be doing it, and they just choose not to, right? I mean, like Breath of the Wild dabbled in with it. It's like, why can't they, you know, give it a try? I mean, and even what's it called? That Pokemon's new Snap game that has voice acting in it. The Professor
new Pokemon Snap. That's what you're talking about?
That has voice acting in it, so why can't we just get it in a main game, you know? Like,
yeah, they do it all the time in their side series games. And the funny thing is, Pokemon Company as a whole, they voice anime. It would probably not be
that's what I was right about to say that.
Put them in the game.
They already have them under contract. Just like be like, hey, you know, we got some extra stuff here. Like seriously, it makes me it's so baffling.
I expected Pokemon to like do some like voice work for like the 3DS of all systems.
Yeah,
but
no, they're just being lazy. That's really all it is. They could definitely do it, but nah.
Yeah, they don't want to spend money.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, they don't even have to like go above and beyond to like get like to do voice acting for like every single like country out there. They just do English and Japanese,
and they don't even have to get big names either. It's just like, I mean, like I mean, you know, say what you will about like the Xenoblade dubs, but I mean, they get like you know, pretty much first timers just about. And
some
for
of
the
those
most
first
part,
timers sound freaking good. Like,
for the most part, they're really good.
Yeah, so it's like, you know,
with Xenoblade 3, for like Mio, I know she's Ronnie from Elden Ring.
Well, there you go. I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, they don't have to get a big name voice actor or nothing. They could just get a voice actor.
They don't have to like get Chris Pratt or anything.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, even if they want to do it cheap too, it's like I said with like what was I saying with with like Skyrim and all that. Honestly, those games have like hundreds and hundreds of characters with millions of lines of dialogue, and they're only voiced by like maybe like 6 people total. So it's like you can really, you know, you get a good actor, right? You can kind of a bad way to say it, but you can kind of stretch them thin and have them do a lot of things. And I just don't know why they don't even. I don't know why they don't even want to experiment with that.
Yoshi, what the fuck?
Bro, I was like, Yoshi, you say that, and it's like one of the hot topics at the very end of the night.
I know.
And we gotta go.
Oh, I know.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, just keep that. That'll be a surprise tool for later. So just kind of remember that.
Surprise tool.
Oh goodness. Well, I guess we said all we could on the Pokemon Sword and Shield thing. I'm still looking forward to it. That's just my main pet peeve with games nowadays is when you can benefit from voice acting and they just don't. But anyway, I think we rested this case, and we're gonna go ahead and close this lid before something ugly actually hops out of it, though. So next up on the docket, we did get the release date for the Splatoon 3 Amiibo, and actually got to kind of see what the kind of gear actually looked like, though. And I know, what was it? Hack said, what did he say, Sanikyu? It's like one of them made a reference to something of the North Star, something fits in the North Star or something like that.
Fits in the North Star.
Yeah. So I was looking at all the suits and stuff. They look pretty cool and stuff like that. And they do release out, what was it, in the month of November, like basically mid-November, whatnot.
November
11th.
Yeah.
Which, once again, 3 days before my birthday. Once again, that is the day that Black Panther comes out. So a lot's happening in like November. November's gonna be a busy month. Like, y'all don't even know. We got that. We have like
November is always a busy month.
We have God of War Ragnarok come out. We have like the Splatoon 3 Splatfest.
God of War.
Wait, what? I said God of
You said
War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
No, I said
You said
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
God of War,
Rock. I
Yeah,
don't know. Too many
nice
R's. Too
game.
many R's.
What?
You got
Too
that,
many
the
R's.
Splatoon 3, you had the Splatfest as well as the end of the season in late November. You had Sword and Shield dropping out. You also have like a new Switch
Sir?
OLED model dropping out.
Sword and Shield's coming out again? Oh my god.
Oh, I said I said that
Oh my
again. Scarlet
god.
and Violet. Oh shoot. No, yeah, that. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming out in November though. But I'm picking up all three. I think pre-orders already. Yeah, they already went up because I already got all three of them pre-ordered. Did you pre-order them, Mario?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And I know Bronto pre-ordered all three of them. Are you getting all three of them, Sanikyu?
And I
I'll
wanna
probably sure.
But where are you getting all three, Sanikyu?
I'm probably just gonna get small fry. I'm
Just
always
small fry,
small fry.
bro.
I'm a small fry.
yeah.
Small fry is the best.
Yeah, I was about to
outfit. I
say
think it looks cool.
Small fry, best fry. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that. Call him a little Pablito.
Yeah, it'll sit right next, or it'll sit good next to my Inkling and Octoling amiibos. And then it's like, hey, you got the big three or whatnot, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, so not too much to it. I just want to go ahead and report it though. Though I guess while we're on the topic of amiibo, it was weird because there was like some kind of special event. I can't remember what the name of the event was, but we did get a look at the Sephiroth amiibo as well as the Tekken amiibo, and I was like, what the freak? I was like,
Yeah,
it's
it
interesting
was
how
a
we
leak
saw
or
those.
something.
Yeah, because it was in a glass case and everything like that. I was like, I don't know how in the world we got to see looks of them like that and not anything official yet, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
get anything kind of on the horizon for those. Is shoot, that's Sephiroth amiibo. If you're mildly interested in it, get it because you're probably gonna get people that don't even own Smash Brothers. Just buy the Sephiroth thing because it's a cheap version of getting a figurine. So yeah, so honestly, some good stuff coming up from the amiibo department, but not too much more to that though. So next, let's hit one of these big major topics because we got the trailer for the Mario movie, and I actually did a reaction on it, so that's on my channel if you want to check that out. But you know what? I felt good. I told y'all this is going to be a good movie, man. Solely if you're just looking at Jack Black alone as Bowser. I think they pulled a really good snippet of him with his role, at least in his this teaser trailer they did right there. We'll focus on Bowser first before we talk to Mario, though. But since we do got somebody that's literally called a Mr. Mario expert, let's have that man talk first.
You
What
chose that as the Mario image.
I know. Oh goodness! Go ahead, Mario. What do you think about this trailer?
the trailer was pretty epic, I have to say, because I'm looking forward to watching it because like they got some things right except for the Chris Pratt voice.
Yeah, that's honestly what I was thinking as well. It was weird, but not Bowser did. Man, that Bowser voice. I don't know. It was something about the cinematic, the way how they broke it in. Like, yeah, like Bowser coming in on his ship and whatnot, though, dropping the Bowser anchors, if you want to call them that. I don't know what they're actually called though. And literally, they're like invading the Ice World Kingdom. You know, the one that had all the penguins and whatnot. Though I remember, I heard some people online were like, "Hey, you better not throw one of those penguins off the side of the thing." Even though it's kind of funny because I think Kamek technically picked up all the penguins and chunked them to the left and right, though. But yeah, I think the visual effects and stuff like that, I was kind of worried with Illumination working on this at first, but from what I saw right here, everything looks fine to me. I mean,
Looks like they got a budget.
it didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, because Bowser, just looking at the design on him, I was like, gosh dang. And I was like, okay. But well, there was one more thing I wanted to say on Bowser. Oh yeah. I like the fact how when Jack Black talks, it doesn't sound like Jack Black himself. It actually sounds like pretty unique. But then I guess when you're looking on the contrast side, when you're looking at Mario's voice actor with Chris Pratt, it just kind of sounded like Chris Pratt was doing like a New Yorker accent, something. I don't know.
Brooklyn accent.
Brooklyn. Yeah. And I was like, well, what in the world though? But you got any thoughts on this, Yoshi?
Yeah, as somebody who hates modern media and all that, I did think this actually looked not too bad. I'll say that much. I have a lot of reservations. Yes, I have a lot of reservations with Illumination Studios as a whole because they've made it clear, right, as their mission statement, as we try to have the most marketable, like budgetable, like movies just for pure profit, right? As in, like they don't really care about like making like a movie with a message. Not that it has to be preachy or nothing, but like just like something artistic, right? Something that's just kind of beautiful and whatever. It's just not. It's just let's put in pop culture and have all this and that. That being said, this movie is really going against a lot of that, which I think is really cool because besides most of the casting, I really like how Koji Kondo, who's been composing for Mario since day one, is doing the score for this movie, which I think is really, really cool. Because there's this old like copy pasta story thing basically where it's just like this summer Mario's getting epic, and like I was so ready to see that. When we got this, I was pretty pleasantly surprised. I was surprised to see like the penguins are kind of a niche enemy in a way, so it's kind of cool. Like that's one of the first things you see, so it kind of makes you think like, oh, maybe they'll not just like stick with the Mario mandate, and by that I mean whatever Paper Mario has to go through to have a story where they can't do anything. The fact that a Koopa is wearing an eye patch made me like sweat for a second. I'm like, oh my god, are they actually breaking it? Are they gonna allow uniqueness into Mario again? Which is funny that I'm saying that when I'm looking at an Illumination movie, because I have zero unique traits about anything. You watch any of their movies, they're all nothing, right? Like the first Despicable Me, yeah, it's okay. And then everything after that, right? The Grinch movie that they just made was terrible because they had the Grinch be a nice guy and everything.
Gosh, don't
And
even
then
remind
they
me of
had the
that.
Sing movies, which are just, oh, this song's popular, let's throw it in here, right? So like you get all of these like trash movies that they make that are just like pop culture, pop culture, pop culture. And then you give me this, and it's like I said, they have the Koji Kondo on it, they have the penguins, they have it looking unique. It looks really good, like graphically. And everything. So I was actually pleasantly surprised, right? But then I heard Mario and I was like, eh. But ignoring that, I think it definitely has a lot of promise. So whenever they release the next trailer, I'll look into that. But I really just do not like Chris Pratt's Mario voice because he's not doing anything. It's just really lame too, because I like Chris Pratt and everything. I know he's kind of weirdly controversial for some reason.
Yeah,
But
so he's Christian.
yeah.
Like all they go after him for.
It's lame,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I do like him. I think he can be a good actor, and it upsets me because he's really not trying for this movie, at least from what we've heard. I mean, you can hear Jack Black already trying. You can hear what's his name, Keegan Michael Key, right? Like already trying like as Toad. But then when it comes to Mario, he's like, oh, where am I? What the Mushroom Kingdom? Whoa. Wow. I mean, like, it's already so lame. And it's like you can't have one of the most iconic characters just in everything just sound like that, right? When he has such an iconic voice. And I want to add in here too. I have a lot. I have a lot to say about this. Okay, I have been brewing and brewing on this topic because it just peeves me off so much. I will also say I really, really hate people who are like, "Oh, who wants to listen to Mario for a million hours?"
Oh,
that argument is such a non-argument. Right? I mean, like in the Mario games, you don't hear him talk that much. You want to know why? Because he's just too busy jumping around, right? But when they plop him down in an E3 booth and they go, all right, Charles, talk to the people. They talk to him and he does a great job, right? Like even I have personally been to one of it was at a Comic-Con, I think back in like 2014, so it was a long time ago.
Oh, you saw him perform?
Yeah, I met him in person actually. I got a picture with him. Yeah, with Charles Martinet, I should make clear. But yeah, he did the little like Mario screen thing, where he talks and it mocaps him and whatnot. And we're talking to him for hours and hours, I didn't personally, but a lot of people were. And it was just like it's like good fun. And it's like Mario can talk and Charles Martinet can act. right?
I mean, he's
It's
been
not
in
like
he's
he
been
was in
in the
Skyrim, which
JoJo.
I keep going back to. I don't know why I don't even like
Yeah,
Skyrim.
JoJo,
He
is
was,
that what you're saying,
Skyrim,
Sonic?
JoJo OVA.
yeah, like he
He
can
can
add. People just think because they only hear him go, wahoo and all that. That's all he can do. No, it's just such a disservice to him, and we'll get into this way in a bit, but just disservice to voice actors in general, where they just hire all these
I don't know
celebrities.
how many times you typed this mess up into the laptop.
Listen,
Oh shit!
this is why I wanted to be on the podcast, because it's all about like voice actor stuff. That's something I'm very into. Okay, so like, yeah, you wanted me to talk. I'm here talking, right? And I'm mostly on topic.
He's gonna be grumping.
But yeah. So overall, I think it looks pretty good. Chris Pratt, I don't know. Maybe we only heard the bad takes, but I doubt it. So I guess we'll
The thing
see.
is, he's only like said like 2 lines technically.
Yeah, he said 2 lines, and look how much praise Jack Black's gotten for Bowser, and he also said 2 lines. If you can praise Jack Black, you can criticize Chris Pratt for the same amount of screen time.
That's the true. You know, they messed up one thing. He said, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come." He didn't say, "Let's go."
Yeah.
How dare?
Also, I do want to say, they have the trailer in other languages. The French one actually.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the French one.
The French one is cool because it actually is. The guys are trying to sound like Mario, which
then like in the Brazilian version, they add the guy whoever's voice he's doing the voice for Mario in the Brazilian trailer. He actually gave Mario an Italian accent.
Yeah, so it just makes me mad that all these other languages are trying, and then because Hollywood, America, whatever you want to call it, they just hire big name celebrities that don't give an ass.
Well, I'm cool with Jack Black.
Yeah,
Jack
well,
Black
obviously
Black
he
is
cares.
good.
Yeah, he cares. I
But
wouldn't
he was
want
at
to
a
say
Comic
Chris
Con, I
Pratt.
think.
To play as Bowser.
Yeah,
because Jack Black was at a Comic Con and he was doing some, like people ask questions or whatever at a Comic Con, and he was giving out like statement answers or whatnot though, with his Bowser voice, and he was like, I did something from the lines of Cass and all of this to get my voice or whatever. Yeah,
on a throne while doing the Q&A.
Obviously he's having fun with it, which is good. That's what actors should do, right? Especially if you're going to be a bit of a hammy villain like Bowser, you should be having a lot of fun with it. But when you're just being this like straight shot Mario, it's like, why? It's like, how lame could you be?
Yeah, where was Chris Pratt and all of that?
He was too busy doing something else. He probably only recorded this for like a minute. He's like, oh my god, I'm Mario. Okay, bye. See you later, Illumination.
That kind of feels like he was just there for a check.
Yeah, which really sucks, especially for the main character. But yeah.
Yeah,
he gotta stop
and
on
it's
the
weird because
Koopas.
like he's done voice work before, but like it's just his voice, but and all those other ones like I don't know, this is my opinion, but like he stays in character to what he's given. But with Mario, it's like
he couldn't even keep a consistent accent.
Yeah, he couldn't keep it. Yeah, he couldn't keep it consistent.
It was literally as bad as Geppetto in the damn Pinocchio remake.
We're
not
gonna get into that.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay?
Sanikyu. I've just been going through and listening to what you and Yoshi been saying, and you said early, like I love the pic that you put up the YouTube side of things right now with Mario looking like that. I was looking at him this whole time. Y'all saying stuff like him. I just kind of lost myself.
Hell yeah, he's
Bowser gets a star, and
Mario, he's got a heart attack.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, like what you said, consistency. Like the first part, like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then it just starts, then all of a sudden a Brooklyn accent comes out of Mushroom Kingdom. Here we go.
Yeah, it's just like 2 different voices. It's just very lame. But everything else I would say
it's so weird that I don't know if like right here you'd be asking why is he like doing barely anything and he gets paid a lot, but you know.
Is that a nice segue to the next topic?
Assuming if nobody else has anything else to say about the Mario movie. There's something. Wait, did I? I did Mario. I guess so.
No, you didn't.
No, I said
Um,
Mario, and then I said Yoshi. I was like, oh, I guess it's true. Well, your last thought, Sanikyu.
Jack Black, hell yeah. Chris Pratt, holy shit, it's Chris Pratt. He's just doing a Chris Pratt impression.
Holy
Wow.
crap.
I'll use my credit card.
I'll use my super mushroom because I'm Mario.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So at
Yeah,
least for
Trying to
this,
bring out Flood.
it's just lame.
yeah. So at least
Yeah.
for this first showcase, I just kind of want to see where everybody's heads were in terms of the way how it looks, and most critically, voice acting. I think by the time we get a second trailer, I from the rumors and stuff we heard, we kind of already know what's kind of happened with some plot points and with some certain characters in terms of like which voice actors were getting hired and whatnot. Though, but I'll save that discussion for what the plot is, what we can
Wait,
kind of
hold on.
expect and stuff for the next time it shows
Mario,
up.
go onto Twitter, see if he made an account.
What?
What?
Go see if the he who should not be named just yet made an
Oh,
account.
don't talk about that now. Just
Bruh.
do that later.
All right. So outside of that, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the Mario trailer stuff. So some pretty good stuff, and some little mixed stuff up in there, but overall, a lot better than what I honestly thought we were probably going to get, though. So,
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
yeah. So that's going to basically do it for that topic. And the last gaming news topic of the night is actually a
Absolutely.
bit controversial. We said about the good, the bad, and ugly, and this is the definition of it right here, though. Because apparently, and this is broke out within the last, what was it, last 24
24
hours?
hours.
Yesterday.
Last 24 hours that the voice actor of the original Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, you can say arguably, for every port
Since
that game has been on,
2009.
yeah, she's been the voice of Bayonetta. And now, since we have a new voice actor acting her and stuff like that, she came out with a video statement of her thoughts over the whole situation of this. And lo and behold, this is like what, 2 weeks before the game comes out. Just kind of keep that in
Yeah.
mind, though.
It comes out next Friday.
Yeah. So I think there's two sides of the coin we have to talk about. I'm just gonna lay down the ground rules before we start going into our, debates, arguments, and all that mess. So, one side of the coin is what she did address: voice actors getting underpaid for some of the work that they do. Which honestly, that's just not a video game side of thing.
Not
It's
a
an industry
secret.
thing. It's an industry thing as a whole within like animation stuff like that, games, wherever. That's just a common thing. So we're going to talk about that point, giving her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she did get undercut. But then there's the other side of the things where you look at it and it's like, well, she's demanding for a boycott of the game. And I'm like, okay, but at the same time, you're asking a lot of people to boycott a game for you not getting the role that you wanted. Yet at the same time, no
What are you
one
talking about? She
abused
did
you.
get the role.
I'm,
She just refused to pay.
yeah. Or I'm saying at the end of the day, she didn't take the role. I guess I should have worded it differently. But at the end of the day, you didn't get abused. You didn't get hurt. There's nothing physically
But she
wrong with
got
what they actually
abused.
treated you or whatnot, though, to that severe extent. Like what you see with some other things that goes on within, like with reports
Sorry,
of abuse and
she
whatnot, though.
did get abused technically because like it caused her like a lot of like depression and shit, like anxiety and all that like
Yeah.
bad mental stuff.
And I got some
Because
interesting things to say about that as
because
well.
that's something like I don't know how that occurs with like voice acting, but like from what I've been seeing or like what other voice actors have been saying, like it seems like a common thing,
Yeah.
like a very common thing.
But yeah, so to do all of that, to boycott the game and stuff for just one person, when at the same time, you have other voice actors working on this, you have game developers and stuff working on this, other people that will also be affected by this because you just didn't decide to go with the job and, you know, you didn't decide to go with what's been presented in front of you. So there's two sides of the coin. But let's talk about the first half with the fact that the voice actors and stuff getting underpaid and stuff. Yoshi, since you've been looking forward to this and alluding to it so long, I'll let you go ahead and kick off that first one.
Well, I was actually going to say, I have so much to say. I think it'd be better if I went last with this.
Oh, last?
Because,
Okay. Well, then, Sanikyu, you go first. You take it first.
I have a lot.
So so where am I starting with?
Well, we're giving her the benefit of the doubt. The fact that she got.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't
If we
really
take her
see
word
it
at
being
face
a
value,
benefit.
I say
No, the thing
if
is,
we were to take her,
Zard.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't really see this as benefit of the doubt. I'd say, because for starters, she's breaking NDA,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
secondly, she's burning the bridge with Nintendo and Platinum Games, and 3, she's basically committing a career suicide because who's gonna want to work with someone that breaks NDA like that? So she has nothing to gain by lying about the things that she said. But, so I don't see it as like giving her the benefit of the doubt. I firmly believe that she's telling like what she believes is the truth, and obviously we don't know the full story and whatnot because
Right.
the thing
Yeah.
is, I don't think Platinum Games or like with Hideki Kamiya and whatnot has full control. I think like that was getting like the best that they could do to give her that amount. The thing is, they're not the ones that are funding Bayonetta 3. Nintendo is, and back then with like Bayonetta 2, Kamiya like said something about like, oh, we were afraid to like ask Nintendo these and these things. So my theory or like what I think happened is like he didn't like they were afraid to ask for more money from Nintendo. So looking around like what money they had left, they offer that to Miss Taylor, Helena Taylor, which is the original voice actress, and obviously we know how that went down. And now in a scramble, they're like, "Ah, oh, fuck that what." So they obviously didn't do the same shit with what Jennifer Hale, because obviously there's no way she took that role for 4,000. There's absolutely no way. So with that, they're like, "Okay, so we're gonna have to ask for more money," and that's probably what happened. Like they messed up, like completely on like Platinum Games end, which is what I'm thinking, which is what happened.
Yeah. Although I would actually say the thing that they would be afraid to ask is kind of hilarious.
Well, the thing
because
is, like they've been wanting to be like self-independent. That's like the case
I
with like
know
101 because like Nintendo said, yeah, we can like foot the bill to publish it, but obviously they wanted to go on multiple consoles, so that's what they're asking for with the Kickstarter.
right. But I mean, I know they want to be independent, but they're just because they want to be independent because they were with Capcom and Capcom was like, nah, we're not dealing with this, and that's pretty much
Wasn't it Sony?
what made
Like,
no, it was Capcom because they made Beautiful Joe and Okami, and they're just like, it's not working out.
For Clover.
Yeah, they shut Clover, yeah, and then so I get why they don't want to be bought out and everything, but just passing that, the fact that they would be scared to ask for anything is silly to me because whenever they felt that way when it came to porting Bayonetta 1 and making Bayonetta 2, when they were like, oh, can we do Nintendo like costumes? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And then when they were like, okay, can we have Bayonetta dressed up as Link? Yeah, go ahead. And they're like, okay, here's our design. Do you like it? It's like, nah, let's see your chest a little more. That's what Nintendo said. Okay, so for them to be kind of scared, especially they just had like, I swear to God, they just had like an interview not too long ago. I want to say it was like earlier this week, maybe, where they were like, "Oh yeah, working with Nintendo is great. We love it. Like it's probably one of the best we've ever had. At least like work company like dynamics. Like if they said that about Square Enix, I'd be like, okay, what's going on? But if they said that with Nintendo, I can believe it. It makes a lot of sense. So I just think, yeah, there's no way she's lying because it's basically like everything Sanikyu said, right? She's putting herself at risk, right? Not only just like kind of exposing, if that's the word you want to use, Platinum Games, but also having it out there to be against a big company like Nintendo and also Sega because they're also in charge of publishing Bayonetta as well. To put herself out there at risk against all of that, and then I don't want to discredit her or anything, but Bayonetta is her most worked on thing, right? She's been the voice of the character for over, I guess technically over 10 years, and to like kind of jeopardize your main character is kind of not great. It's pretty risky to do, so there's no benefit of saying hey, these guys, they undercut me, So if you want to be cool, you can boycott their game that I'm most known for. You know, because I do think she had a really good point. I don't know if she said this in the video, because I actually didn't watch the video. I just kind of read everything about it. But she did say that she is Bayonetta, right? So she is the voice, which is true. And that to give it to somebody else who's not the voice, it's just kind of like rude, right? To call her that and everything, and just I totally forgot. There was a big point I was gonna make with that, but
I think I got you. I think I got you because
yeah,
because literally it's weird because she was trying to stand up for voice acting as a whole, not just with her own personal story, but just
yeah,
across the industry, which that made a lot of sense. But by the time you got to the very end of that video, she started bashing the new voice actor because she was like, wait, I'm the OG. Why in the world did you do this? Now, not only you're going to say that, but now you want to
It's
boycott the
'cause
game and
the
not
weird
support all the other
thing.
people, though. And then Sanikyu, get this. I went back and looked at this person's history and whatnot, though. The last work that she worked on was Bayonetta 2 back in early 2000. 2014, was it 2014 when that game launched?
yeah,
And
2014.
unless she does not have a lot of stuff on her profile since then, she hadn't done anything since Bayonetta 2. So
Well,
it's like,
that's even more of my
and
point, right?
that's,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's like her main character, the thing she's known for. I mean, if you want to dial it back, right, with like Charles Martinet and Mario, just like if he was in the same boat, where I mean, he's done more than just Mario, but everybody knows him for Mario. If he was like, "Hey, Nintendo's undercutting me," like I think it's pretty rude, especially because I've been Mario for. I know Charles Martinet's been him for over 30 years at this point. Or not 30 years. Close to it, though. Close to it. 1996 is when he
Yeah.
first voiced Mario.
Yeah, 64.
Yeah, but actually, I think it was a little earlier than that. But anyway, outside of that, it's basically like saying I'm the voice of this character, and it's just rude that they would do that, to me, and not only to me with this, but a lot of other voice actors and everything else too, because there was I forgot what movie this is. I don't know, maybe Mario and Sonic know. But there was some anime dub movie that's, movie length or whatever, and they paid the like main voice actors like only $150 for it. Which
Jujutsu
is
Kaisen.
is that what it was?
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
Oh,
But that's
that
just
movie.
like, yeah,
Oh.
that is just ridiculous, right? And it's like I know some people think, oh, $4,000 just to go BBDBDBD, like that's nothing. No, acting is acting, right? Like, like when you play something that has bad acting in it, or watch a movie with bad acting in it,
You're gonna point it out.
you're not gonna want to. Yeah, you're gonna point it out. And you're gonna be like, what the hell is this, right? Like, but you're paying not only a character who has, or not only a voice actor who has experience with Jennifer Hale, or not Jennifer Hale, sorry, I meant Helena Taylor. Well, both of them, yeah. But I mean, not only a character that has experience, but experience with the character itself. You'd really think you'd want to keep that. And
it was perfect.
Yes, I also want to mention that as well. The original Bayonetta, back on the 360 and all that, the original Bayonetta did not have a Japanese dub. Kamina himself, when he was going through the auditions for Bayonetta, and he picked her because he liked it so much. And Kamina himself has described Bayonetta as part of being like the perfect woman for him, right? So that has to include her voice. So it's just kind of crazy to me that, because we also have to remember the $4,000 she was offered. That's the higher one.
That was the final.
Apparently, whatever it was before that was even worse. God knows how much it would have been.
It probably was like less than 2,000.
Yeah. So to her, for the OG voice actor, right? To I mean, first of all, have to re-audition. Like, what the hell's that? But then also to be denied. Or not denied, sorry. Offered chump change. And then when she asked the director himself, like, hey, what's going on here? He goes, oh, yeah, sorry. How about a little bit more? How about a cookie to go with it?
You have some like 2 months rent. How about that? That's good, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I know with inflation and everything, I'm trying to ignore that part of the argument. But it's still it's just awful to treat her that way. And like, Sonic, you said earlier, Jennifer Hale, I had to look it up right now just to like
same union.
Yeah. Is it the same union?
Yeah.
same union, like the
Oh
pedigree, like
wow.
the experience. There's no way she took that job for
Yeah.
4,000. Like
And
I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna, I'm not saying like Jennifer Hale, you have to like save this much, how much you made with this. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I would be
yeah.
interested in knowing. And the thing is, like with Jennifer Hale, she hasn't said anything, but like what people have noticed that she's been liking tweets that are like what the
Yeah.
fuck could you Kamiya, like what the hell or whatnot.
I
So
did
she
see that.
knows, but she can't really say
She can't
anything.
say anything
Yeah.
because of the
It would
NDAs
look.
and all of that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah,
say
it would be
anything at
bad on
all.
her part to kind of be like, "Oh yeah, let her have the rollback or something." Just like you can't really do that. So like, I get it, and but I mean, like Jennifer Hale, she's been voicing characters. I had to look it up since 1994. So she's been a huge veteran. She's got millions and well, not literally millions, but hundreds of characters under
Was
her
it
belt.
her most
She's
well
probably not
known
just only
Commander
doing this
Shepard?
Bayonetta. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Commander, like both like video game media and like
Yeah,
cartoon media.
yeah,
Or was she like
I
the
think she honestly
teacher?
does more video games than yeah, she does teach voice acting. I remember kind of a side tangent, but I was in a like voice acting kind of like workshop class thing with Kira Buckland, who voices 2B from Nier Automata, and she was talking about how she was getting taught by Jennifer Hale and all that. So yeah, so like big veteran, there's no way she took
And
that
not only
pay.
that, like I don't know if it's true or not, but I have seen like people talking about like yeah, like Jennifer Hill, like she wouldn't she not only is she like part of the same union, but like she's like vocally against all the like treating voice actors like poorly. So
Yeah.
it's more than likely that she was fed the same lie that well, that's another thing. Planning games, you're saying yeah, like conflicting scheduling and shit, like
Yeah,
she was too busy. That's
that really
like
Yeah,
rubs me off the wrong
lying.
way.
It's the same thing like with Game Freak, like just lying to your fans about the honest to God truth.
And I guess
Yeah.
that's one other thing I should mention up, hence the whole controversy thing, because that was only one side of the story. And like what I think Sonic, you said it earlier, the fact that we don't know the full understanding of the whole story. Well, here's another thing because you have Hideki Kamiya come out and say tweets like sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can say now. You start having this dude start saying a whole bunch of tweets and stuff in correspondence to what Taylor just said and all that stuff. So much, and he started going through and blocking other people's responses and stuff. So
The
much to the
thing
point
is,
where
he
That's
his
pretty
Twitter
no,
account
he
went
got a
down for a
bot.
period
He
of
got a
time.
bot to do
Yeah,
that. No, not only did he suspended it, he also deleted his Twitter.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I
but
just think
now it's back up.
like
But I'm like, oh
the
shoot.
thing, no, is it back up?
Yeah, it's back. I was going
No,
through and
he
checking
deleted
right
no,
it.
now,
He
and
deleted it, didn't he?
it's back up. It's
yeah,
back
hit
up.
the ALA. Wait,
Well, it
is
was
it?
deleted for a bit.
It was suspended because I think when you block a bunch of
No,
accounts,
it was suspended and then he deleted his account.
and I think it
Oh.
got reactivated because I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, then
Wait, really?
Yeah.
okay, but like
Hell?
I don't know. It's like like him being like, "I have funny man." Camille, he's just blocking people because they're talking to him in English and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now it's just it
Well,
looks so bad.
yeah, usually he blocks like idiots that just ask like dumb questions, but like this is like an actual serious thing.
A
So
serious thing, and he- it, he's acting to the point where like people have changed his Wikipedia page to like CEO of Planning Games and man child.
yeah. And I also this is another huge thing. I did a lot of research for this, okay? I just want to say I personally don't have experience with getting paid as a voice actor or anything like that. So from the research I've done, the 4,000 she was offered is very, very low.
I
Whereas I've done some research, right? So this is a little bit comparable, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've been looking into what people get paid for when they do advertisements for Raid Shadow Legends and NordVPN
oh
and
my
all that
god.
stuff,
Oh
right?
my god.
There
Yeah.
people that
Oh,
have 1 million subs or so, from what my research, they get paid 4K to do that advertisement. Their little 1 minute Raid Shadow Legends advertisement where they just say, "Get the game, join me, I'm cool, use the QR code." All right, back to the video. That's apparently worth 4K. So to offer her lower than that and then raise it to that when Helena Taylor has also been on record saying that it took her, I believe she said 4 days to record the first Bayonetta game. and obviously she's going to be a main character, so it's easy to assume that Bayonetta 3 will take the same amount of time as well.
Well, more technically, because like there's multiple Bayonettas in that game.
Well, spoilers, but okay. But yeah, so even more, right? Or even longer. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a bigger sequel because it's the third one, right? So the fact that they offer her that 4 days of work or so compared to 1 minute you can get from Raid Shadow Legends and all that is just kind of baffling from what I've been reading. Because I'll make a quick shout out to Technicals because he's the one that kind of led me into that rabbit hole, because he said the same thing, where he's seen some people on YouTube get paid more in sponsorships. So I just think that it's just kind of disgusting to to have somebody act for your game. And when you act for a game, it's a lot of work, right? Because you're not only just reading the story script, you also got to think about, you're reading all the the battle grunts and everything. You're reading all the game over dialogue and stuff like that. So it's not just point A to point B like it is with this ad script, right? They tell you what to say, or at least something similar to it, and then you say that. No, it's like with this, it takes days of work. So I don't know what they paid her for the other two games, but to knock it down all the way to that much
And I
is
will
just kind of ridiculous.
And I will say this, Yoshi, because I did some research as well. Because, for example, somebody on Twitter asked Sean Chiplock, and he asked literally like, "Hey, I'm going to actually quote him. He said, I'm so sorry to ask because people don't talk about pay, but what did you get paid for your role in Breath of the Wild and the spinoff? This is the same dude that voiced Rivali, Teva, like the other dude that's kind of like Rivali, as well as the Great Deku Tree. And he said he was paid approximately $2,000 to $3,000 worth overall because it was based on the number of hours that he spent in the studio, which was higher because he was voicing 3 characters in a single game. And he made more voicing Space / Dale in Freedom Planet 1 because because basically he got paid for like the generosity sales of it.
That's the
So
thing.
that kind of gives you a little bit of perspective of what's kind of going on within the voice
Like,
actors.
apparently, there's indie games that pay more for their voice actors, but AAA games, well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Freedom Planet is an indie game. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so it's like it was based upon how many game sales they did was how much money was going back in the voice actors' pockets.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, I'll say at least with
horrible,
him, he's not.
disgusting.
Yeah, at least with him, he's not voicing a main character in Breath of the Wild, so obviously it makes a little more sense that his is lower. But at the same time, it's still just kind of ridiculous, especially for a little indie studio, which Little Freedom Planet definitely doesn't have anywhere near as much capital as Nintendo to offer royalties. It's just kind of something. There was a huge voice actor strike back in 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, to have royalties and stuff in video games, and I really don't think it went anywhere from what I remember. It just kind of just basically just a wet fart. Just nothing happened.
Yeah, because I know Nintendo doesn't do it, and most AAAs don't. And the fact that indie studios are somehow able to, I mean, something just ain't adding up. So I do agree with the fact that I wish things would actually change for voice actors because I love a lot of the work. Like there's some favorite voice actors that I like Charmer Lee and stuff like that. That does work. Like I know she does some work for Charmer Lee. Literally did some work for she voices May in Fire Emblem Echo. She voices Lady Rhea from Fire Emblem Three Houses, along with a plethora of different anime and stuff like that. I follow a few of them and stuff like that. I respect the work they do because I try doing some of that mess on my free time, just trying to randomly come up with a voice. It is hard work.
They bring the character to life, and that's what
They really do.
Helena Taylor does with Bayonetta. It's hard to imagine anyone else playing Bayonetta, and the moment that did happen, when we first heard Bayonetta, Yoshi, you said, "Huh, this doesn't sound like
I was
Bayonetta."
this is not Bayonetta. I knew it instantly. This is honestly what I do a lot of the time. I just have a sharp ear for voice acting stuff, as you can tell, as passionate as I am about it. So when I first heard her speak, I'm like, that's not her. That's somebody else.
I heard her voice too, and I was like, I don't even play Bayonetta that much, but I was like, something didn't sound right. Like, is this an alter ego with her or something? That's what I started
hear
thinking.
from Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
which you hear her a lot. So
Smash 4.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. I don't know. It's just a real shame. It's just so so messed up. Like to be treated like garbage in your own industry,
No,
and
to
then
be
to also
told
to,
like the 4,000, right? Final offer. That is 66 copies of Bayonetta 3. So to be told you're worth that. That's
yeah, and it's like a
no
half
wonder
a
like she
billion
said
dollar franchise too.
no, no wonder she said like she like had anxiety, depression, like all this like mental like health issues that she got just from like that event. Like yeesh.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's
just find out that you're worth this much. It's just really like it's sad to hear. And
yeah.
like I'm looking at like I was like back when I was like first watching like the whole thing go down like in the morning, like that video, like she looked like she was to like burst into tears. Like she looked so
Yeah,
like the light was
Yeah.
just sucked out of her.
Yeah.
because it's not something you really want to talk about. Because it's like we're saying earlier, it can put you at such jeopardy to like
To risk it
expose a
all.
company
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
And
to
then
risk,
like she even
like
says it in the end, like, "Oh, what are they gonna do? Take the clothes away from me? I can't even start my own car." Like how bad is she like right now? It's
yeah,
like
And I was like, if you only been doing stuff, and the last thing you've been doing since then was literally Bayonetta 2 when that originally launched on the Wii U, like part of that doesn't even add up. Like, there's no way that you could not have done something since then and not been doing some oddball jobs since then. Like, something's not adding up. So I
she
can
had
already
to have
tell we
done
still
something.
don't have the full story, but what's been present at this current moment, which I guess I'll hit on this a little later on in another episode if we get more developing news about either one side or the other, though. But it I don't know. It's been a hard pill to swallow. I don't like it
I
on either
guess
side of the
Nah,
coin.
I guess
I believe her. She has no reason to lie.
she really does not have no reason to lie. But like I said, like the funding that it comes from Nintendo. So if anything, I don't know how they allocated like the money to like pay like all these people and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that confused me. Like the other like voice actors, apparently they didn't even know like she was recasted as Bayonetta either.
Like they couldn't mm.
No, no, not even, I don't.
They're probably all recorded separately. That's how a lot of recording
I mean,
sessions
But
are
like they
done.
that
didn't
is
even
kind of true.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably had like somebody like in the recording booth just kind of like saying Bayonetta's lines, but not like the actual actor.
Yeah,
That's
that's typically how that goes
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
sometimes
Yeah.
they have a little snippet clips of someone records like previously before you. Like I've seen some kind of anime studios when they do it.
yeah.
Like sometimes
Some will
they
do.
might get somebody coming in before you. You can hear part of their stuff. Oftentimes it just gets read back to you, and then you just go off the cuff and just do your own thing.
So,
Yep. I mean, I also do want to say, hopefully nobody thinks I'm a hypocrite, but I will be still getting the game,
well,
even though she
I
is
don't think you're
Sure.
shallow. I don't think you're shallow, Yoshi.
she
No, I
is
don't
the
think
Just a
so.
little
character.
bit. Just a
She
little bit,
is.
maybe.
Listen.
Oh
I'll
my
say
god.
this much. Just let me say it. She is the character without a doubt, right? As much as Charles Martinet is Mario, Helena Taylor is that to Bayonetta to me, right? And even though she won't be in it, the same people are still developing the game, and I always put gameplay above everything. So I will
Yeah.
be looking forward to that part at least.
Well, they already got paid, so
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like it's, I don't know, too late to kind of issue out a boycott. I mean, I don't know. I've been waiting for this game for over 5
Well, the
years at
thing
this
is,
point.
like, she did it like 2 weeks before, because like if she did it like right there and then, like people would have forgotten.
I guess, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the fact is that most of Bayonetta 3 copies were sold out in the U in I think in the
Yeah.
US and some other
No,
countries as well.
that wasn't apparently like there was an issue with the listing.
Oh,
It's at
never
number
mind.
9.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
am
okay,
I
never
am
mind.
curious about some. Hold on. Go ahead,
Oh
keep going.
yeah,
Okay.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So like I looked over at Kamiya's tweets, and one of his tweets after before his Twitter got suspended, and he tweeted in Japanese text that said right on the tweet after the English tweet, he wrote, "I warned you," and that was just it. He just moved on, and I think he lost most of his followers from there.
I would not be surprised.
He's at 790 followers.
Okay, I had to check, so yeah, I just wanted to make
blocked?
sure before I said no. I didn't even interact with him. I just wanted to check and see. The Japanese voice actor for Bayonetta is remaining the same, so take that as you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And from what I
I'll go ahead, Mario. I'll go after you.
from what I heard, apparently like the Japanese voice actress gets paid less compared to what she was offered for
Wait, what?
$4,000. So
Who?
I don't I like that not the Japanese voice actress, the Japanese voice actors in general gets paid less compared to
Same with
what
animators.
other
Mario,
yeah.
they get a lot of them get like
Undercut. Yeah.
underpaid.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
say like
more of a
90% of them.
yeah, it's more of a like standing up for more like equality kind of thing. I mean, if you allow me to go on another tangent, there was the whole thing with Futurama
Oh, with
earlier this year
Uh,
with John DiMaggio and Bender, right? When they announced it, one of the other things they announced shortly after is, oh, John DiMaggio will not be returning. And then he stated, you know, they're shortcutting me as well. I think as like a self-respect thing, I don't want to take that offer. You know, I really think they should be treating voice actors more fairly or whatever, right? And there's a lot of fan outcry, a lot of support for him and everything. And then, like, I think a week or so goes by, and he's like, "All right, you guys, I'm going back to Bender, okay?" And you know, people are happy about that, assuming he had gotten his pay increase. Nope. A couple of days later, he says he didn't even get the pay increase. He just didn't want to let down himself or the fans on having somebody else voicing Bender. So it's just kind of sad. I mean, like, especially someone like John DiMaggio, who's I think is really big, right? You know, Bender, and then Jake from Adventure Time, the main guy from like Gears of War, and there's like a million others. I'm sure I'm forgetting, but you know, even they're just like, well, you know, whatever, right? To him, and he still took it anyway, just because, like I say, you don't want to let anybody down. But need to remind you, when they advertised it, right? What did they have? Oh, it's a picture of Bender saying "We're back, baby," because that's what he says. So they know like how iconic he is, and they still lowballed him anyway. And just you know, he just felt he had no other choice but to take it because he didn't want the role
He plays
given to
Schnitzel.
somebody. Yeah, he was Schnitzel. That's right. So I just think it's just really awful.
What? He played the Scotsman? Oh hell no! They should have paid him more.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he voices a lot of characters, so it's just like BS to do that to him. Do it to anybody, really.
He's such a big name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess
like,
what I was about to say.
The only way you don't get like undercut is if you're big as Chris Pratt.
If you're on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Those guys get paid like millions per episode.
Golly. And I guess that was the thing I was going to say after Mario. I guess there's like a couple of different points. One of them being is the fact that we have issues with the voice acting industry, with just not just with games, but you know, animation as well.
Just in general,
And you
really.
get big stars like we mentioned, Chris Pratt. You literally would get Hollywood actors that would literally show up because at the end of the day, voice acting for a movie, a little different, but at the same day, you're both actors. You literally can have someone show up as a cameo for like a few, not even a minute. It could be some seconds, and they get paid out the wazoo and get somehow, some way. And guess what? As a medium, as a franchise as a whole, the gaming industry was a ton of more money than what Hollywood ever does. Like that's just the way how the status of things are. And yet somehow all of the actors over there on the Hollywood side, they still get paid really good, even if they show for a few seconds as a cameo versus what we have to deal with within the gaming anime space and that other whole medium with voice acting as a whole. I was like, that to me, I don't know, that just rubs me the wrong way.
It goes even further than that, like you know, like Aladdin, for example, like with you know Robin Williams voicing the genie. He told Disney like straight up, "Do not use my name to sell this movie," because and lo and behold, Disney does what? They like, oh look, funny man Robin Williams playing a genie.
Yeah.
So like it's literally just an interesting thing. Like they know, like if they have big names like you know Dwayne Johnson and whatnot, it will sell. It's gonna sell like a lot.
I mean, yeah, I agree with Zard. Like a voice actor and like I guess I don't know, regular actor,
Hollywood,
whatever you want to call them,
whatever.
Hollywood actor. Yeah, they can they can both intertwine. They can both do it, right? But I mean, just think about what we were saying earlier, right? What was the Zard saying about Bowser? Oh, he likes how Jack Black is doing like a unique voice for it. And what do we not like about Chris Pratt? That he's not doing a unique voice for it. So clearly there is a difference between just doing a celebrity voice and then like voice acting itself.
And Chris Pratt getting paid more than Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that too as well. So it's just frustrating. This is a very frustrating topic.
There's no
for me.
passion.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why voice actors have to get so shafted in the industry. You know, you already got the animation industry basically going belly up these days with how how much it's like getting screwed with, right? And that's a voice actor's bread and butter because because doing it in a video game, even though it takes more work, they don't get paid as much for that.
And I know voice,
like,
and I'm not voice
depending
actors.
Depending on the game, it's a lot longer than a movie.
Yeah, that as well.
And I like how you mentioned
the only
something
way
with
the only way to get paid like really good is if you're like Hollywood big, like an A-lister actor.
Yep.
And I like how you mentioned the fact that you were saying animators are also getting undercut as well, though. This is another little quick side tangent thing, though. I know not everybody here is like a Pokemon fan or whatnot, though. I know Mario, you like Pokemon and stuff like that. If you know
I
anything about
used
the
to like
Pokemon franchise series now, by this point where we're at right now, we would know something about the next new generation anime by now, because like what we're in the month of October, the new games come out in November and we've not seen a lick of where the Pokemon anime is supposed to be going. And we have a new generation that's coming out next month. Now, I've been seeing some stuff on Twitter on the back end side. Like, there's some crazy messes happening over there within the studio that makes the animation for Pokemon stuff. That was just a quick little side tangent though. But the whole medium with either voice acting animators, like it just needs to get better.
I think that's what she's like. That's why she's calling for a boycott, just not because for her herself, like obviously her, but like also like just for like voice acting in general.
Because it's just so underappreciated. You got all these people that are like, ew, cartoons, animation, ew, that's for kids. And then they'll go watch like 10 hours of reality TV shows, like the most garbage you could ever see. And it's just like, it just infuriates me. You got animation can be so beautiful and so wonderful and takes so much like creative effort and everything, right? Because it's like you feel something in real life, you can't you just you have to kind of hope everything looks into place and looks real, right? But if you animate it, you can draw anything you want. So like it's just like so cool as a concept to think of it that way. But animation is so shunned and so like I want to say hated, even though it's a little extreme in the US. Because I mean you look at the Lion King remake, right? And I kind of hate to bring that up. You look in the Lion King remake, what does everybody say about the Lion King remake? Oh, it's live action.
No
No
freaking soul up in that thing. Did you see the look in them eyes and them lions, man? I was like, how the no, because Yoshi, you brought this up. No, I got to talk about this because the fact that with that thing real quick. It'll be quick. 30 seconds. 30 seconds is all I'm asking for. That was literally one of my most favorite Disney shows ever growing up. It's still one of my favorites, The Lion King. You go ahead and do that kind of mess like that with the live action one. Like, I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I had to get that out of there.
So shit, because like the only way people will ever say will ever talk about animation as a whole, like, oh, they should have done a better job with that. Pinocchio.
Oh no!
But like, have you seen Pinocchio? He looks so disturbing.
Yeah, the animation that is bad as well.
There's
they just don't care.
Yeah, there's like some bad stuff, like the whale, for example. Like it doesn't even do it. And
I don't get why they turned the whale into an actual a movie monster. Like it's literally just a whale. Like how hard was it to animate that to like a normal like gigantic whale? But like no, they had to like give him tentacles and like very sharp teeth and whatnot. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, but hold on. Back to my point, right? With this Lion King remake.
Yeah.
Right. Animation is so hated that this movie, right, is basically being advertised or was being advertised as a live action movie because it made it look realistic, but it is animated, right? So when they were doing I don't know, it was like for the Emmys or Oscars, one of those two. Around that time, they nominated the film for everything. And I do mean everything, right? What was the only thing they left out? Best animated picture. Because that's how much these people like hate animated movies and how much they hate voice actors, especially in that movie too. You got so many celebrities. You got goddamn what's his name, Tom Oliver, not even an actor. They get him in there to like be in this movie as well, and it's just
Funny Weed Man.
Yeah. So like it, but you know what they did though? You know what they did though? When this movie was able to be recognized as the highest grossing animated movie ever, then they'll accept that one. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll take that title. But
Wait,
everything
Yoshi.
else, no. This is the high. This is the live action one. This is the real one. Like it just drives me nuts.
Wait, Yoshi,
What?
what about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? How high did that get ranked up? Because that's why I'm starting to
Actually,
oh, you want to get upset? Do you want to get really angry, Zard?
Because I can't remember.
Went above and beyond. They went above and beyond to make like the you know how there's like two Spider-Man, like the teacher and the student. They went above and beyond to like make Miles to like move in like 24 frames and like and you know Spider-Man at 60 frames. So like as Miles became his own Spider-Man, he was moving at 60 frames. But go ahead, Yoshi. Go tell him.
All right. Are you ready? I don't even know if you're ready for this, Zard.
I probably ain't, but go ahead and shoot.
All right. So
Really?
here, let's get some more perspective. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
But yeah,
let's see.
She's essentially just boycotting for like better pay, really. And it's not that bad of a thing to ask for, really.
Okay, so we're just gonna put this into perspective here, okay? So if we're going all the way back to the original Spider-Man one with Tobey Maguire and everything, that movie boxed office 825 million, right? Which with today's inflation, I don't know, it's a lot, right? And then Spider-Man, or no, hold on, no, I'm gonna jump over to the Lion King now, right? So Lion King here, which is definitely not an animated movie, wink, but it is when they want to take that title. That movie has made 1.6 billion.
That's off of brand recognition alone. That has to be. Okay.
Yep. And then with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, 375 million. It's also the lowest grossing like major Spider-Man movie as well. So it made less than the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Most of that money came from like DVD sales and whatnot.
Yep. So see, there you go. That's how much people hate animation. Spider-Verse is one of the most beautifully animated movies. It is so cool with so much like detail and everything, and like it's just incredible. It's just eye candy with, you know, great characters and everything, right? But because it's animated, 375 million, even though it has Spider-Man in it.
I'll skip this and watch the Lion King.
Yeah, the Lion King movie, dude, it looks so realistic. It's like a real movie.
That's why
1.6 billion.
Disney's like move to like do live action like remakes.
I'm just telling you,
it's literally just them keeping their own brand.
I'm just telling you, this is how much the US hates animation. It's all for kids and it's all dumb and stupid. But this Lion King remake, that is definitely one of the worst like remakes ever. Honestly, one of the worst movies ever, because it takes everything, adds nothing, and you come out with less. It's just a bunch of big names, and it's just filmed and shot worse because they wanted to make it look like a documentary because, our talking lions.
It's just seriously shot like a documentary.
Oh, yeah, there's I mean, I know, I'm sorry we're so off topic, Zar, but this is just like a huge thing, right? I mean, it still relates to voice actors. But there's this great video from Your Movie Sucks. It's a 2-part video. It only has part 1 out, but it covers the first half of the movie. So from like pre-production into where Mufasa dies. It covers all of that, and it's a really great video. And it's just like it's like 2.5 hours long because there's just that many
Oh
like things
God.
bad with this movie, and it's very fascinating um to watch this movie or to watch that video about the movie because it's just incredible how much Disney of all companies as well as everybody else hates animation. I mean, well, I mean honestly Marvel movies at this point are almost as much animation as The Lion King is, so I don't get the hate for it.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess to kind of bring everything back around to a head, if you hadn't caught, I don't know exactly when we started with the Bayonetta conversation to now. I'm pretty sure we probably spent at least 30 minutes on this subject alone, though. But
It's just
there's a lot of
asking.
passion that exists for people like us. When you're in this side of the industry, when you're into playing games, you're into watching anime, you're into watching certain movies that pertain to your interests and whatnot, though all of it seems to overlap when you got the actual workers that are behind the work. What are the people behind and the back scenes, either messing with special effects, what are the voice actors themselves, whether they're actually going through and animating certain things, whether they're actually programming and making the games themselves. At the end of the day, these are like regular other people with all these other different jobs.
Oh, this
And at the
bot
end of
really
the
loves
day,
you.
they need it. Everybody needs to be respected for the work that they do. And despite, all of this stuff that's been happening with the controversy and all that stuff, I mean, my heart still goes out to Taylor, and it's kind of crazy how the fact that at
It's
least
crazy that Nintendo or Platinum hasn't even like
yeah, made a
issued a
statement.
statement or like
But I think,
addressed it.
but since this happened within the
I
last 24 hours, you know that this literally has to
It's
what was
literally
it?
a PR nightmare for them right
Yeah,
now.
because it happened over like literally over the weekend. Like, remember
Hold
how this?
on, like I'm okay. So her like tweet got like 8.6 million views.
Yeah, it got also reported by like a lot of
TMZ,
news sites.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
news
TMZ
outlets. Yeah, you're right.
of all
Yeah.
I
outlets,
was actually kind
TMZ.
of shocked to hear that.
So that's like a Hollywood like thing.
Hollywood kind of tweet right there, like, oh shoot. And
Shit, man.
it is crazy because since it did happen over the weekend, most people within the gaming industry and whatnot. I remember there was like some other instance, not nothing like this scale, but something that did happen over the weekend. The Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks or whatever though. Like stuff like that can happen over a weekend. They're not in the office, so they got to prepare something literally to come out, in the work week, starting off on that Monday and stuff. So you're literally gonna have. I think at the end of the day, Nintendo's probably gonna force Platinum to say something about it. Because at the end of the day, Nintendo's funding them, but Platinum also made all the decisions with who they want to hire, how we're gonna make this game, all that kind of stuff.
No,
I
I'm
know it's a
pretty
collaboration
sure
because I mean, there's like
it's
a lot of
both
different parties. I
because
mean, technically, if you
Nintendo's
want
the
to
publisher.
yeah, Nintendo's the publisher. Platinum makes the game. Sega partially owns the IP itself, and there's like two or three other things or whatever. Though, but at the end of the day, most people are going to probably look at either Nintendo or Platinum Games. So one way or the other, at this point, it's blown up so big. I don't think they can kind of shoehorn this thing. We're probably going to hear a statement no later than I would say maybe midweek, probably by Wednesday at the latest, about this whole entire situation that's breaking down. I don't know how nitty gritty they'll do. I know they're going to have to go through a lot of different PR statements and stuff like that. They're going to have to hit it with a couple of their legal teams and stuff like that. Because, I mean, the way how they respond to this, it has to be done correct. So that way it doesn't hit their brand recognition, stuff like that. You already got people saying they're going
I
to
guess
boycott, and you got other people that say, oh, just because you're boycotting it, I'm going to buy 2 copies. I'm going to buy 3 copies. I don't care about voice actors.
The
Yeah.
Pokemon mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, I'm
It's
still
your
getting it,
money.
but I mean,
It's
it's
your
just
money. Do what you want at the end of the day.
yeah,
And the thing is, it's not black and white. You can still buy the game and like still voice your like your dis your
yeah.
Your
disgust
opinion.
with.
Yeah.
So like because for me, like the way I see it, like I'm not gonna buy the game new. I'm gonna buy it pre-owned, so none of my money goes to Platinum or Nintendo because I I do not like what they did. That's all. That's basically what it boils down to. I don't like what they did, so I'm not gonna buy it new, or I'm just gonna buy it pre-owned, secondhand, eBay, whatever. Because I do want to play this game. I do like Bayonetta, but if Bayonetta says boycott it, then I'm gonna fucking boycott it.
Yeah.
So you literally saw Yoshi acting as one way, but he's still really passionate about it. You saw Sanikyu still passionate about it, but he's gonna handle the thing a different way. At the end of the day, the decision
It's
is yours to
nuanced.
make. But no matter what has been said, the industry as a whole just got to do better. I don't care. There's no if and or buts about it. Like enough said. Case closed. We could keep going on about this longer and longer though. But
I guess like
sheesh.
one thing we can add is, will this boycott even do anything? Because you look at Pokemon, but
No.
the
Yeah.
difference between that and Pokemon,
Well,
Pokemon
Pokemon's
is
still gonna
Pokemon's
sell.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon's Pokemon.
Pokemon's the highest grossing IP in the
But
world out of anything.
Bayonetta,
Yeah.
while it is a popular series, it's niche. It's
But
still niche.
Bayonetta's not
So-
even a blip on the Pokemon radar, just to
So
compare it.
the thing is, like, they're I think like the target sale that they're going for is like at least 2 million. I kind of wish, I want them to hit at least a number where like, yeah, Bayonetta can still make a Bayonetta 4, because looking at this, like Bayonetta might not, they might not make a fourth game, because like Nintendo's gonna be looking at this, and depending on how it pans out, you know, Bayonetta, this doesn't really seem worth it anymore to fund it. So Bayonetta 3, last Bayonetta game.
Well, I mean, Platinum's also been having a really bad year, so it could be worse for them.
The whole Wonderful
it
101,
really,
the Bayonetta 3 controversy.
not even Wonderful 101.
Yeah, Wonderful 101 was the more successful thing.
It's Babylon's
And,
Fall. Like,
Yeah,
that was like the
I was
worst
about to
thing.
mention that.
No, I'm saying with
Like,
the
and
Kickstarter and stuff.
Oh yeah, like I don't know. For me, it was kind of misleading. But like they did, I guess they said like it is for like self-publishing and whatnot. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just see Kickstarter as like, oh, we need help to like to develop a game. So please donate and help us. And that's another thing. Like one of the rewards, get unblocked by Kamiya. I wonder how that.
Yeah.
It's funny how that.
Yeah. How's that going now? Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the most part, I think I've made our peace. And normally I'll have 2 other segments after this though, but I'm looking down at the recording time. This is like a 2.5 fat meaty podcast right here though. So unless y'all got anything else to say, I'm gonna start trying to wrap this mess up.
Yoshi, are we still? I know it's late, but are you still down for some Silent Hill 2?
Sure, why not?
Oh my god.
So yeah,
Uh,
me and Yoshi, we're gonna go to Silent Hill. I don't know if me playing Silent Hill willed this baby of this gift, I should say, of a Silent.
Yeah. So honestly, thank y'all all for tuning in to this podcast episode because I literally told y'all it's gonna be about the good, it's gonna be about the bad, and it's gonna be about the ugly. And we got a whole lot of those 3 with all the different topics and stuff that happened literally within the past 24 hours up to the past 2 weeks though. So yeah, so I thought it was some very interesting, conversation and whatnot though. But since Yoshi was the guest here, let the fine people know where they can find you at.
I'm not really anywhere. I guess I'm on twitch.tv/JackoDouble, but I don't really do much.
Alrighty. And
we
Mario,
do have a
you know
YouTube
what to
channel.
do.
You can find me. Oh shoot, I don't want to say anything because that part will track me down because it's still there.
Hey,
Sir?
You know that part in the chat.
Oh.
what? Bot's
Well,
epic.
you can find them at Mario Expert Studios. You can find this stuff down in the link in the description box down below. What about you, Sonic here?
You can find him right now on twitch.tv/Sanikyu for Silent Hill.
You know what? That is true. I still see him here, but he might have died for a little bit though. But
Guess he's getting it ready or something. I don't know.
yeah. So anyway, though, yeah. So honestly, really good episode and stuff like that. If y'all got any comments, any kind of thoughts about any of the stuff that we discussed, make sure to drop that all down in the comment section down below, or you can just at me on Twitter. I'll answer your questions, whatnot, though. But I thought it was very interesting, very informative, and some stuff that just really need to be said about
Oh,
the good
yeah.
and the bad and ugly from the past
Oh,
24 hours to
yeah.
the past couple of weeks, though. But that's going to basically do it for the ZardCast episode 43. So if you happen to be watching this live and stuff, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related. I feel like talking about and discussing for the foreseeable future. If you happen to be watching this on one of my podcast servers, whether that be Google, Apple, Spotify, or even Amazon Music Podcast, make sure to go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and share that podcast episode out. Let them just know that, hey, we're just a few guys over here just talking about video game stuff, pop culture stuff, all that good jazz and whatnot, though. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, until my next ZardCast episode 44, I'll see y'all later.